What's going on, everybody? John out here with you. It's a much anticipated NBA season opener of 2022-2023 regular season. So let's get into it. We just had the national anthems and an address there by Kyrie Irving. So let's bring in the New Orleans Pelicans starting lineup, head coached by Willie Green. They were 36 and 46 last season. They ended up winning a play-in round before they lost the next time going to the playoffs. Starting lineup potentially for them is C.J. McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Herbert Jones, Zion Williamson, and Jonas Valanciunas. Out tonight for the Pelicans will be Jackson Hayes, Kira Lewis, and then E.J. Liddell of note, the Ohio State product that was pretty good in college, will be out with the season for a knee injury. So I just wanted to make sure that was known for the first game of the season. And the Brooklyn Nets, 44 and 38, head coached by Steve Nash. Their point guard will be Kyrie Irving, and then Royce O'Neal at the shooting guard position with Kevin Durant, Ben Simmons, and Nicholas Claxton. Out for the Brooklyn Nets will be Seth Curry, Joe Harris, T.J. Warren. With a foot injury, Seth Curry and Joe Harris will be just out for probably a couple of days, and T.J. Warren with the foot injury will be out until around November. So key bench pieces to keep in mind of for both teams. Again, if Devontae Graham does not get the start tonight for head coach Willie Green and the Pelicans, it would be Devontae Graham with Jose Alvarado in the backcourt. And then Larry Nance Jr., Trey Murphy III with Willie Hernan Gomez. And on the bench side for the Brooklyn Nets, usually would be Kessler Edwards, David Duke Jr., Patty Mills, Markieff Morris, Deron Sharp, Edmund Sumner from Michigan State, and Cam Thomas, among others. So we are getting all the festivities really underway here in Brooklyn as we're just a little bit away from tip-off as they're showing some of the player introductions. So Brooklyn, over the last few seasons, we can make it known, under Mikhail Prokhorov from before and now under new management, Brooklyn has been one of those teams, and since coming into the league, have always tried to make big splashes rather than build through the draft. And once it was happening to be able to build through the draft to get guys like Spencer Dinwiddie and some of these other good ones coming in, they were moved on to acquire pieces like Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. So when everyone talks about the potential of a Brooklyn Nets team, let's just make mention of this right now as I'm going to put my recorder on. So we've gone through some of the starting lineups here from the Brooklyn Nets and the New Orleans Pelicans. Again, I can reiterate, C.J. McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Herbert Jones, Zion Williamson, and Jonas Valanciunas for the Pelicans. And for the Nets, Kyrie Irving, Royce O'Neal, Ben Simmons, and Nick Claxton. So I want to go into this really quickly here as the players are being introduced here in Brooklyn and they're trying to get all the festivities underway. So let's make note of this. As Brooklyn was 44 and 38 last season, head coached by Steve Nash. So when you're talking about Mikhail Prokhorov over the last few years and then now under new management, they've always tried to trade to acquire big pieces. And you can remember that from the Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce days, right? And then it ended up falling flat on their face. So then now, when you over the last few years, when you started to acquire Spencer Dinwiddie and some of these other ones, building to the draft that looked pretty good. And then you traded those pieces away for Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. So what kind of Brooklyn Nets team will we see? This should be the first game of the night, along as the NBA League Pass feed holds. It seems to be pretty stable here on the 4K Fire Stick, and that's where I'm streaming this tonight. So if we get any momentarily hedges in the play-by-play, I'll have some other backup stuff ready for me to go. But one of the situations where you look at Brooklyn and you see that starting lineup there again, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, with Royce O'Neal, Ben Simmons, and Nick Claxton, you think, all right, there's some potential there. But all there really is for Brooklyn, despite losing the 7-game series of the Boston Celtics last year, is potential. You don't know exactly what's going to happen with Kyrie Irving, whether or not he's going to go off the extracurricular, or Kevin Durant's going to go through his burner account, or whether Ben Simmons is going to be emotionally ready to play the game. And I'm just going to leave it at that. But it's one of those situations where this lineup is actually excellent if all of these guys are available. I think they've gotten away from the situation the Brooklyn Nets have, where the James Harden thing really didn't work out. But it ultimately depends, especially even when you get bench pieces back like Seth Curry and Joe Harris over the next couple of days. It ultimately depends on whether or not the starting five is going to remain to be intact for an 82-game season or thereabouts. I mean, if they're playing between 70 to 82 games, then all right. You know exactly what you're going to get from the Nets, and that could be a dangerous team in the Eastern Conference. Look, we have teams in front of us in the East that we believe are going to be able to do a lot of damage, but there is too much in the here and now of uncertainty, even on night one. And this is a big time uncertainty matchup because when you take a look on the other side, again, as the Brooklyn Nets players are still coming out of the tunnel, you have CJ McCollum, acquired from the trade of last season, right? And then you have Brandon Ingram that's been signed and sealed, and Zion Williamson as well. Herbert Jones was a pretty good piece for the Pelicans last year, and Jonas Valanciunas has turned into a big man that can all of a sudden splash threes. And the Pelicans seem to be a dark horse for a lot of people, as you're going to look at Steve Nash right now on the Brooklyn Nets side. There seem to be a dark horse for a lot of people, the New Orleans Pelicans, but it really depends on, again, night one, we get to see Zion Williamson. Rumor is he's already nursing some type of injury. Again, it's McCollum, Jones, Ingram, Williamson, and Valanciunas as expected, and then Simmons, Irving, O'Neal, Durant, and Claxton. So they're going to start Ben Simmons at that point and put Kyrie Irving at the 2. That's the only switch to make. So with the Pelicans, it remains to be seen where you're going to get a full season of Zion. If you do, and you have Devontae Graham and Jose Alvarado, Larry Nance, or they just ain't Trey Murphy, who's pretty good from distance, and Hernan Gomez is decent as a big man off the bench. That's really all he is. But in a situation where that lineup can be really good. So on night one, this is going to be an interesting matchup here for me, not only to test the League Pass portion of it, just to see if the code on NBA 2K23 works. What's going on, Technical? How you doing, boss? This should be an interesting night one matchup between these two teams and whether or not we figure out what exactly they can do. Again, it's a long season. There's still 81 games left to go as we're still getting through all the festivities. But it's a situation where there is a lot of thinking between these two teams in their respective conferences. These are two teams that a lot of teams would expect to be able to do some damage. And that's just where I'm at with it. But what are your thoughts? As always, hopelesssportsguide.wordpress.com. I'm going to give you the complete game coverage and story with the broadcast. As you think about some of these other teams in the East that might compete there with Brooklyn, you think about Boston last night as they look pretty good. Milwaukee's still in the same kind of season there. And in the West, it's still probably Golden State, Memphis, and Phoenix, even though Phoenix might have had their runs actually run out as that team continues to get older. So Zion Williamson is on the floor. Ben Simmons is on the floor. We're getting ready and set for tip-off. I will be with you throughout NBA League Pass games throughout the week. Maybe some local coverage with the Pistons here and there. It's going to be a good season for the NHL and the NBA that we're kicking off tonight, and I'll be with you all the way through the playoffs. So Brooklyn ends up winning the tip. I'm going to pull up my lineups and everything else here as we get set to get underway. So it's a 2.5 point spread right now as Ben Simmons has us near the right low post. He's being guarded by Zion Williamson, holding on the ball and keeping it outstretched right. So it's Nick Claxton inside from Kevin Durant, and it's immediate turnover. Zion's got it now. Zion almost lost it as he crossed the timeline right to left across your radio dial, and CJ McCollum will dump it inside with Jonas Valanciunas. Valanciunas trying to work his man, which is Nick Claxton. Again, I don't really recognize him as much as he doesn't have that long flowing hair, but Valanciunas' first shot misses and picked up now. And Durant will fire from the top of the key from 3 and miss it all. And Zion Williamson looking clean cut there, maybe lost a little bit of weight as it bounces off a pass between Kyrie Irving and CJ McCollum, and we're going to do this again. So 11:08 left to go in the first quarter. John out here with you from Brooklyn as we're watching the NBA League Pass feed on Yes. It's the first regular season game for Zion Williamson since May. So picked up now. Jonas Valanciunas gets this off the inbound pass. CJ McCollum. Valanciunas with a half hook. And they blocked Zion Williamson inside, did Royce O'Neal, or at least stripped it away from his hands. As he nods a little bit to say good defense there. That was Royce O'Neal just to be able to knock it away from him. Because usually when Zion Williamson goes up, there is a lot of damage admitted on the rim. No doubt about it. So CJ McCollum is going to be the trigger man. Inside, Jonas Valanciunas gets Kevin Durant to jump inside. And the Pelicans get the first 2 of their NBA season. Durant now has got it at the Barclays Center logo on the right wing. Pass inside to Claxton. Try to get it there to Ben Simmons, but he's going to travel with it, so Brooklyn's going to turn it over. So a turnover and a couple missed shots so far for Steve Nash's squad as he's looking on right now. I imagine there's going to be a lot of celebrities in the crowd there. Anytime you go across any of these New York games between the Knicks and the Brooklyn Nets, you can talk about your allegiances and things like that, but the stars and celebrities always come out to play. Zion Williamson is going to pass, put this across, pick it back up as it bounces between Ingram and Valanciunas. Sorry, some of the hair is throwing me off there. Brandon Ingram's got the weave, and some of the other weaves there are not available as they got some clean cuts. Almost stolen there was a Royce O'Neal pass, throws it back out to Kyrie Irving. 10 seconds to go on the shot clock, and a foul up front there. C.J. McCollum got a piece of the knee of Kyrie Irving, but he looks no worse for wear. So we're really just underway here. John out here with you on the Yes feed of the NBA League Pass. You're getting a chance to test this on the 4K Fire Stick. Hopefully everything else goes well. It seems to be working pretty well so far. Trigger man was Ben Simmons off the inbound pass, and now Nick Claxton gives to Kevin Durant on the right wing. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. Irving trying to weave his way through traffic. Tough fadeaway. Great defense there by Jonas Valanciunas. And here comes C.J. McCollum. He's being opposed by Ben Simmons. He wants the screen there from Valanciunas, and they might have a switch. Valanciunas and Simmons, if they can find that. Wraparound pass from Ingram. He's going to leave this one to Herbert Jones. He's got a free. So it's a 7-0 run for the Pelicans to start their NBA season here on Brooklyn. 9:35 left to go in the first. John on here with you. Simmons almost had his pass lost. Kevin Durant will pick it up. Easy money sniper trying to launch from 16 feet. And he missed it. And that's his original Twitter handle there, not the burner one. So that gets picked up by Brooklyn as they were able to steal it from Ingram. Here's a chance for Royce O'Neal. Lob to Ben Simmons, and that was as easy as you like because there was nobody underneath the basket. So Ben Simmons has Brooklyn's first 2 points this season at 7-2. So now it's Zion on Ben Simmons. Lost the dribble, got a pass back out to CJ now. CJ thought about it, wanted to 1-25. Instead, it goes from about 18 against Royce O'Neal, misses it all, and rebounded there by the Nets. As Kevin Durant's going to go left to right across the timeline, but not before Steve Nash, or a backcourt violation, excuse me. Wow. Backcourt violation, and where was that? Oh, yeah, that was a definite backcourt violation. That was a chance for Kevin Durant somehow. He's wide open toward the right wing, but he wants to pass the backcourt to Nick Claxton to dribble it up. I don't understand that one. Jonas Valanciunas now to Zion Williamson, as that was a careless turnover. Zion missed it up the front of the rim, explodes, picks the layup back up off that second jump, that pogo stick, if you will, and Zion Williamson puts it in. It's 9-2 Pelicans. So Simmons now, Durant right wing. Durant tries to pass it inside, and he's just been very sloppy early. Zion Williamson down the lane, lays it in. 11-2 for the Pelicans. And Steve Nash wants an early timeout. I don't blame him. Kevin Durant's got to get his head on straight. He's been turning the ball all over the court right now. 11-2 as we're early into the first. Come right back. Let's call more of the first quarter action. Pelicans out front. You're gonna play some Returnal there, Tekken. If you have not played Returnal yet, it's one of those games that's very difficult. I think I got to the second biome and I got stuck. One of those situations there for you, if you might consider this cheating, but you know you can upload and download saves. A run that you have as far as guns and setup and all that stuff, you can upload your save to the cloud. So if you die, you can then bring it back. So you can have all of your equipment there. That is just a note because, again, Returnal is a difficult game, probably more difficult than Demon Souls. So I would recommend that you do that if you want to get some practice in there because you're going to die a lot, but it is a lot of fun if you get a chance to get used to it, especially if you have a good setup there for the VRR and everything else on your TV side. I ended up just getting the LG C1 not too long ago because it had a really nice price drop before it got discontinued because you got the C2s and C3s upcoming. Let me pull up my RotoWire feed here for this basketball game as we're really under commercial break here. The one thing I do like about this NBA League Pass feed right now is you get to see all the extracurricular stuff before you actually get back underway, so it feels like you're actually in the broadcast. I do like that. So getting set back again for immediate action. That's what it looks like at least. As now we cut to the TV broadcast, so that is pretty smooth. You get a chance to see all the other extracurricular, and then it goes back into the official TV broadcast. So 8:23 left to go in the first. It's an 11-2 run for the New Orleans Pelicans to start, and it's been sloppy here for Brooklyn here at home. So John out here with you. You can follow along on Colorcast if you want some clear audio. That is iPhone only right now. But I'm also broadcasting on the YouTube side, and I appreciate anyone that's followed along and checking in. So 8:20 left to go officially in this first quarter. Kyrie Irving is going to bring this left to right across your radio dial. Gives it inside to Kevin Durant for about 25 feet at the top of the key. Pass inside to Nick Claxton. And the foul is going to be called on the drive. That's going to get picked up now by Brandon Ingram as he gets his first foul of the contest. Again, it's still 11-2. The Pelicans with the lead here early in the first quarter. Ben Simmons will be the trigger man to the right wing on a bounce side. As he gets it inside to Kyrie Irving. Quick pass inside to Claxton. Somehow picked it back up was Kyrie Irving, and he laid it in amongst the trees. So that was a fortunate bounce there for the Brooklyn Nets, but they're going to take it because not a lot has gone their way here early. Zion Williamson down the lane one-on-one against Ben Simmons, and he likes that grown man matchup. It's 13-4 now as Williamson gets his fourth of the game. Kyrie Irving, top of the key three, missed it all. Rebounded there by Zion Williamson as he just snatched it right out of Valanciunas' hands. Williamson now, right wing side. Pass from Herbert Jones as they kick this thing around the horn. Now it's Brandon Ingram at the top of the key being opposed by Nick Claxton. Ingram, couple of fakes. He spins, lost a dribble, picked up by CJ, got a fire from the right wing three, picked up by Herbert Jones. And now Ingram with a splash from the top of the key. 16-14 Pelicans. Big time lead right now. They got 7-0 second chance points retaliation as well. So even on that, they would still be up 7-4, let alone 16-4 as your score stands. Durant lost it again. That's his fourth turnover early here. So picked up by Zion Williamson. He's going to leave it to Ingram toward the left wing side. As Zion will get this on the post to Ben Simmons. He scored on it last time. Zion with the jump stop, got a pass out. Herbert Jones. Top of the key right now, going to fake it to Ingram as they're still in that same spot. Ingram going to drive. 2 seconds left off the post fade spin, and he just missed and is rebounded by the lengthy 6'11 Ben Simmons. Kyrie Irving trying to get to the traffic. Jump pass there. Ben Simmons turned over again. Brooklyn with their sixth turnover of the first quarter. McCollum almost lost the dribble. Still banked it off the glass with the lay-in. 18-4. The Pelicans have the lead. This is a fast start for the Pelicans. They're getting inside, and they're doing the heavy damage inside the paint right now. Kyrie has it on the right wing side. He lost his dribble and to give it up to Ben Simmons. Now this is a chance for the Nets to do something here as it was just turned over again. I think it's a charge against the Nets, and it's against Ben Simmons. So, boy, oh boy, oh boy, to start the early season, to get punched right in the mouth as it is right now. Ben Simmons will check out. Nick Claxton will check out here for Steve Nash's squad. And they just need some momentum here. So it's Jose Alvarado going to check in here for the Pelicans. And now Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy's got a good trigger from distance here. We'll see if he can let that one go. Alvarado was really good off the bench last season for the Pelicans. Alvarado explodes down the lane, uses the high glass, and lays it in. 20-4, a 9-0 run for the New Orleans Pelicans. And how do you do right out the gate? Patty Mills now, the Kevin Durant right wing side. He's got to go to work right now. He missed it. He does draw the foul. Kevin Durant's got more turnovers than Brooklyn's got points as it stands right now. But Easy Money Sniper going to go to the line. Number 7 here, got to do some damage. He's usually got that burn mark at the top of his head where he's got that little shave up there. But I can't kid the man too much because, again, with all the tumultuism that's brought in between the Brooklyn Nets, this guy is as good of a scorer as we have in the NBA still. He's always been that guy. But the question is, as he sits at the free throw line and makes his first, the ultimate question is it going to be enough? As Edmund Sumner will check in, is it going to be enough to get Brooklyn not only into the playoffs? It's going to be Edmund Sumner for Kyrie Irving, not only into the playoffs, but past a first round. Yes, it was difficult against the Boston Celtics and things like that after they won a 7-game series with Milwaukee and things like that. There's a mix between all of it, but again, it's one of those situations where it's not what Brooklyn does in the regular season. It's all about what they do in the postseason. So Sumner now, Durant, and now O'Neal. He's going to cast the three from the top of the key and missed it. Valanciunas gets the rebound. Brandon Ingram being opposed by Sumner. As Trey Murphy is also waiting and trying to get open, and that's some good defense there by Sumner to force Ingram to travel. So it's a turnover for the Pelicans, but again, it's a long way for Brooklyn to go to get back into this game. It's still 5:05 left to go in this first quarter here, so still tons and tons of time. But you would expect right now is Kevin Durant as the lone starter really on the floor to be able to do a lot of this damage, at least the one that can actually score. So Durant fading away from 14, missed it all. Rebounded there by a host of Pelicans defenders, and now Ingram will go right to left across the timeline. Ingram with the Euro step, and it was bounced, tried to be bounced off the Pelicans there. As he turned it over, did Ingram. It was Royce O'Neal again with the active hands, along with Edmund Sumner. So O'Neal has probably been the one guy in Royce O'Neal that's been really good on defense here for Brooklyn, despite them being down by 14. So 4:30 left to go in the first quarter. Joiner within the call from Brooklyn. I'm watching on the yes feed. Stolen. Another Durant pass turned over. Stolen again now. As O'Neal with the active hands. That's his third steal. Going to leave it here for Sumner on the right wing, but he missed it all. Good rebound there by Nick Claxton as he tried to fight, but he couldn't get it through. Almost stolen again, and now is. This looks like preseason basketball. Sumner, Durant down the lane, scoops it and puts it in. So turnover, 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 and then a score. And yes, that was the sequence as it's 20-8. And I think Mean Willie Green from Detroit Mercy wants a timeout. It's been sloppy, but this is game 1 of the NBA season. 20-8. Pelicans got the lead over the Nets. Come right back. Oh.
It's a CE upgrade, right? Presented by CE. So go ahead, upper level, turn your attention to our video board. Let's check it out. It could be your section, your row, your seat that are getting upgraded to the lower level. We got section 204, 204, all right, two people, here we go.
I'm just going to pull up these Google boxes as well, just in case.
Two seats are getting upgraded. 204, row 12, 13 and 14, congratulations. All courtesy of Tiki, you are now join the game in the lower levels in the 100. There you go, now that's it. Or sister and brother love, whatever works. Enjoy the game, courtesy of Tiki.
Next, go celebrate Noche Latino in the Chicago Dallas Mavericks on Thursday, October 27th, right here at Barclays Center. Experience special Latino-influenced performances as the Nets honor the rich Latin traditions of the Brooklyn community. Tickets are available at SeatGeek.com/Nets.
So anyone on this YouTube side that's looking out, let me know as we're under the commercial break right now. It's a big run for the New Orleans Pelicans. They got a 20-8 lead over the Brooklyn Nets. About 4:08 left to go in this first quarter. Anyone let me know, what are your early season picks? They don't have to be champions or anything like that, but Who are your teams in the Eastern Conference that are going to be feared with, and who are the teams in the Western Conference that are going to be feared with? I want to know. Leave some comments on the Colorcast side if you're following along, and on the YouTube side, as I appreciate anything I've followed in and out. So we got the Pelicans and Nets tonight, and then tomorrow we'll be back to another hockey matchup in between the Dallas Stars and the Toronto Maple Leafs. There's going to be a lot of intrigue over the next couple nights between these teams. And I'm really looking forward to the matchup here tonight. I'm looking forward to the matchup tomorrow as well. We have really good teams in action. So Pelicans will inbound as we're officially back in action. About 4 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Alvarado got it at the top of the key. Ingram's only really started, hasn't checked out. Falling away from 16, fell on his heavily padded wallet. Still made it though. 22-8 Pelicans with the lead. As Sumner will dribble this near the right wing side. He's far away from the top of the key. Kevin Durant got to get something going right now. He's been very cold. About 10. Knocks that one down from mid, so that stroke looked pretty pure there for the sniper. 22-10. That's inside Alvarado. Hernan Gomez. This was Trey Murphy missed it and picked up now by Hernan Gomez and laid that one right in. 24-10. Durant around the screen, set by Sumner. Extra pass. Picked up toward the right wing side. O'Neal. Back to Durant at the top of the key. It's been all KD since the bench unit is pretty much in there right now trying to get the work going. Durant with the bounce pass. He bounced it off of one of the Pels. So it's going to stay here with the Nets with 14 seconds left to go on the shot clock. 3:06 left to go in the first quarter. Zion Williamson, quick breather there, just a few minutes. He's going to check back in. Kevin Durant, Royce O'Neal will sit down for Steve Nash's squad. So it'll be interesting right now early in this contest who's going to bring the pain on the offensive end as Sumner will be the trigger man. Ben Simmons now checks in, and you can tell by that length. He's going to leave it there for Patrick Mills. Falling away from 14, knocks down the mid-range jumper, and the Brooklyn Nets are within 12. It's 24-12, your score. 2:45 left to go in the first. Alvarado, a couple of jab steps there. Zion Williamson working his way on Simmons. He likes this matchup so far. Tipped almost out of the rim, I think, there by Larry Nance. I thought that was going to fall, but now the Nets able to escape. That was a good look there for Zion. Maybe just tipped unfairly there. Lob pass inside. Deron Sharp tried to find it, had 3 cracks at it, missed it all. And rebounded now by C.J. McCollum. McCollum trying to get around Deron Sharp, tried to shoot it off the high glass. Took a heavy hit as he fell down. He's going to go to the line to shoot too. So for C.J. McCollum, a lot of us know him as the guy around Damian Lillard right over the last several seasons. But it was the trade last season that brought in C.J. McCollum to the Pelicans, and alongside with the help of Zion Williamson and the low-key signing in there, Brandon Ingram, who's locked in, that gives the Pelicans dark horse status to do some damage in the playoffs as he knocks down the first free throw. CJ, what we know about him is he's going to make the mids, he's going to make some threes, but he's a deadly assassin from the mid-range game, and he can definitely knock down some threes when able to. He misses one of 2 free throws, and it's 25-12, your score. Picked up now for Ben Simmons as he goes across the timeline. Simmons will lead to Kyrie Irving, so Durant is the only starter that's kind of checked out right now. Kyrie gets a good screen. Right wing 3, he had a great look at it. He was wide open, but he couldn't find it. And now this goes from Zion to C.J. McCollum trying to weave his way across the baseline. Good passing from Alvarado around the horn now. C.J. spins, tries to leave a pass off to Zion, and it's Ben Simmons. He saves it before it goes out of bounds, or did he not? He might have just got a toe on there. It looked like he was going to be all on to the races, and that length was able to get him there just in time momentarily before he stepped out of bounds. So still good hustle there by Ben Simmons. 35 left to go in this first. McCollum, right wing 3, cashes it. 28-12. C.J. McCollum with the 3. Pelicans look good early as Simmons has it now toward the right wing side. Going to try to leave it there. Kyrie Irving trying to get around Alvarado. Jump stop, hop step. Makes it difficult. Wizardry handles there by Kyrie Irving, but that's one of the things he's good at. CJ McCollum missed it all with the air ball threes. He tried to go right back on that same spot, but he just couldn't get enough of the release, and that is a careless turnover off the air ball. So Kyrie from Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is going to play at the power forward spot, rotate a little bit, get a screen on Alvarado. Trying to get around Zion. Zion with the active hands. It's Zion. One-on-one with Simmons. Euro step. And it was dunked home by Herbert Jones and Trey Murphy. And that was a great look there and a great follow there as Trey Murphy was able to find it there from a Zion hustle. Good strip there by Zion. Picked up now. It's Simmons from Patrick Mills. Missed it. Rebounded there by Alvarado. So Larry Nance. And this is Zion now toward the right wing side. Trying to go right inside to Simmons. He just puts his head down like a bull in a china shop and goes right to the rim when he sees Ben Simmons on him. And Ben Simmons has not shown much of resistance, shall we say, to that. 32-14. Pelicans kicking butt right now as Kyrie misses the front of the rim. Rebounded now by CJ McCollum. We'll see right now if the Pels can take an early 20-point lead in this contest. McCollum working on Kyrie. Gets a screen there from Zion. Jab step, probing, lost the dribble. CJ needs some help. Can't do much with that. It gets blocked off the heave. That ends the first quarter 32-14. Pelicans got the lead over the Nets as we're in game 1 of the NBA season between these two squads. But it's a 18-point lead after one. Come right back. We'll call second quarter action in a moment.
Hello, friends. Please put your hands together and welcome Team Mike and the Pelicans.
So let's get you some stats in this game right now as we go along. So looking at the ESPN box score, I'm just going to put this here because we'll have some good time as we get. Look, again, I like this. I'll keep saying this throughout the year, but I like the NBA League Pass feed as we get to see everything across, everything that's going on before we get away from the commercials. So you don't have to watch commercials. You can watch everything that's going on as we see the Brooklyn Nets dancers out there right now. So game stats. We'll do the first quarter here as we just finished. So it's the Pelicans, 14 out of 28. And the Nets, 6 out of 20. So not very good on that side. And I'll just put this designation here so I know what to look at in my game story. So the Nets are 0 of 7 from 3 right now. And also for Brooklyn, which is not really good to talk about here, it says 9 turnovers here for the Nets. That was very, very sloppy. And let's just do this here for the Pels. It is 20 points in the paint to 8. Any other notables here? We'll look into the actual box score for the Brooklyn Nets. They don't have all the stuff yet on the ESPN side, but I have Kevin Durant with 6 points and 3 turnovers, a minus 14, and that's not even the worst of it. 2 of 5 shooting, 9 minutes of action. So first quarter was all New Orleans Pelicans. We will see if Brooklyn can try to put a stop to that. It's 32-14. Here's a launch for Trey Murphy. It's air, picked up now by Simmons. Simmons lob pass to Kyrie Irving. He's going to launch from 18. He's going to miss it all. Rebounded defenders, and it was Murphy able to find it there with Herbert Jones. So here's Brandon Graham. That was CJ McCollum. He's going to put this toward the right wing side for Zion. He's going to put his head down against Ben Simmons. He's done that a lot right now. It's loose on the floor, and it's going to be a timeout here for Steve Nash's squad, the Brooklyn Nets. It's 32-14, 11:24 left to go in the first. In the second, excuse me. We will be right back. So I appreciate anyone that's been following along on the YouTube side and the Colorcast side. I can keep you abreast of any other NBA action that's going along alongside with any other sports action. So let's just go through the NBA right now as we are in the commercial break. We'll go to the full scoreboard here. So the Pistons and the Magic will be getting ready to end the first half. Pistons got a 4-point lead. The Wizards and Pacers just about that same mark. A 6-50 lead, 10-point lead. Rockets and Hawks, they're in the second, 10:31 left. It's 28-26. Hawks with a 2-point lead. Again, in our game, 32-14. Pelicans just slamming the Nets right now. 33-28. Heat have the lead over the Bulls after the first quarter. No Zach LaVine in this contest as he's already under load management, if you can believe that. Raptors and Cavs, 28-22. Raptors got the 6-point lead at the end of the first. And Griffin Cass has the call on the Colorcast side for Grizzlies-Knicks. That's 25-23 Grizzlies with a 2-point advantage. And we're really getting underway on the ESPN side. This tip-off is just hit between the Thunder and the Timberwolves. And those are your scores right now on the NBA side. On the Major League Baseball side, it is the San Diego Padres with an 8-5 lead over the Phillies in the bottom of the eighth. They're at bat. They're looking to make that series 1-1. And just underway really on TBS is the top of the second inning. The Yankees got an early 1-0 lead over Houston. Verlander's already given up another run. So not been a good postseason run so far for JV as the New York Yankees trying to take out the Houston Astros. And which one of those is the evil umpire on that side is what I want to know. So let's get back into the second quarter action here momentarily. That's what it looks like right now. It's been all Pelicans as it's 32-14 right now. And we'll see what ends up happening. So Cam Thomas going to bring this one up right now for the Brooklyn Nets. He's on the right wing side being opposed there by Devontae Graham. Thomas has it now as he gets it from Kyrie Irving. He's going to go on the left wing side. Wrap around inside pass. And Nick Claxton makes the basket. He's going to go to the line for an and one. So now it's 32-16 with 11:05 left to go in the second. The Nets need points right now, and basically needing points, I think they need possessions where they don't turn this ball over because it's just been a little too sloppy for my liking. So for Cam Thomas, he got some pretty good time over the last couple seasons here for the Brooklyn Nets. You would expect he could be a viable piece off the bench that can better handle the ball and not allow things to get out of hand. So CJ McCollum got it near the Barclays Center logo. It's a three for Trey Murphy. He cans it from the right wing side, so the stroke has looked pretty good for Trey Murphy the third. It's 35-17, 10:40 left to go in the second. Thomas left all alone right wing side. Zion didn't pick him up, and he missed it all. He was wide open. So C.J. McCollum now off the Murphy rebound. Here's a chance for an isolation. Zion too much to handle, but he missed it. He couldn't control that handle of the basketball, but he definitely was overpowering the man in the post. A bounce pass there for Simmons got knocked away, but I think it's going to stay with the Brooklyn Nets as Simmons is just saying, what the hell was that about? It got knocked away. It's still our ball. So Brooklyn going to trigger it in as Simmons be set to do it. Gonna leave it here for Nick Claxton. Now Simmons toward the 16-foot marker. Gonna leave it for Kyrie now off the screen. Simmons. Nice little extra pass by Simmons. He could have laid it in. Instead, he took the extra pass there to Nick Claxton, and that was an easy lay-in. 35-19 now. Pels with the edge. Nets just trying to get back into this game right now, but the NBA basketball game is all about a game of runs. Brandon Graham, chance for Larry Nance, and he just missed it from 8 feet. You couldn't get an easier look. So here's a chance now for Cam Thomas. Going to leave it now for Kyrie Irving on the right wing side, being opposed by CJ McCollum. Irving lost his dribble, passed it in between the legs. Oh, he knocks down the three. There was a great looking shot there from Markieff Morris. Kyrie Irving nutmegged his other man as he was falling down, and he got Markieff Morris a three. How about that one? CJ McCollum with the pass, got deflected off Irving, gets it into Zion. Zion got stripped there by Markieff, but they're going to call a foul, and it's the Nets. Morris doesn't like it. Zion loves it. He gets a chance to be able to keep the ball here. So Zion, every single time, and that's a great slow motion replay there, puts the elbow out, tries to draw it there. Maybe Zion could have been guilty of an elbow. Simmons doesn't like it. They want to challenge this. I think Steve Nash wants to challenge this. But I don't think they're going to end up doing it. So Devontae Graham will be the trigger man as Claxton just trying to put his hands up there, along with Cam Thomas, just to make life difficult. And now Jose Alvarado going to leave it here for Brandon Graham. Couple fakes. Now to CJ McCollum. Here's a chance for Larry Nance Jr. Graham going baseline, driving, missed it all. Try to get picked up by Murphy. Active hands. Murphy finds it. Picks it up near the Barclays Center logo. Leaves it for CJ at the top of the key for three. Rebounded there by Markieff Morris. Trying to draw the foul there was Murphy. So I absolutely love the hustle that I'm seeing out of the young man. Again, he was trying to be all over the rebound, trying to draw the charge. That's exactly what you want to endear you to your teammates right now. I love the hustle there. Kevin Durant going to get set to check back in as you get a look at Willie Green on the sideline. Again, it's just weird to see me, Willie Green from Detroit Mercy there, but I'm glad to see the man from the local area here in Michigan be able to get a head coaching job. And he's got some talent in New Orleans, and they want to see what they can do with it. So Kyrie Irving, right wing side. Here is Edmund Sumner. That's Claxton, going all the way down the lane and scoring on C.J. McCollum. And Seth Curry likes it. Seth Curry's not going to be in this contest for a couple days, recovering from a knee injury. And, man, that was a hand right in the face. But Claxton never kept his eye off the rim as he was able to Euro right to the lane and score it. Gotta love that one. That's a strong finish there from Nicholas Claxton. He is one of those guys at 7 points, 3 of 3, and 2 rebounds. He's got the length. He's got the size to battle in deep and try to just – in this game, again, he's not really being able to shoot threes. He's one of those big men that can't really stretch the floor. But you got to be able, if you're going to do that, play some perimeter defense and have that split speed, and he does. CJ McCollum off the half spin, and Durant finds a chance for Herbert Jones. Jones now being opposed by Durantula. CJ McCollum thought about it, got his man to jump, and then nailed it from 16 feet. That is a smooth mid-range blast there by CJ McCollum. 8:10 left to go in the second quarter. John Under with you on the Yes Network side. We're in Brooklyn. Durant, right wing three. Air ball. Might have been partially deflected there by Herbert Jones. And CJ McCollum goes right to left across the timeline. McCollum putting his head down. Gets to the basket and one. CJ McCollum with a three-point play. 7:59 left to go in the second quarter. Great defense there by Herbert Jones just to get the hand on Kevin Durant. And the one thing I like early here from Willie Green's squad is this. They are making sure that Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant's life is difficult. Look, I understand that should always be part of the game plan, but to actually execute that game plan so flawlessly early is much more difficult than said in practice. But that is what we are seeing right now. Kyrie Irving now across the timeline, trying to get around Alvarado, and now Marshall, who had just checked in. Marshall almost stole it from behind. Pelicans on the floor. This is Alvarado and Irving Alvarado a little bit upset, so I'm imagining they're going to say either a jump ball or it's going to stay with the Brooklyn Nets. Larry Nance also upset at the call as well. I also see Royce O'Neal on the floor right now for Steve Nash's squad. We're going to get set for a jump ball between Marshall and Irving with 7:43 left to go in the first half. So, John, on here with you. Interesting night in the NBA right now. It's game one for pretty much everybody else other than the Celtics and the Sixers, as the Pels win the tip, and then the Lakers and the Warriors had ring night last night, and they demolished the Lakers. So Marshall, now from Herbert Jones, has got the Brooklyn Nets logo. Going to give it to Brandon Graham. Spin move there by Ingram. He's trying to work around Sumner right now. Falling away from 10. Great move there by Brandon Ingram as he scores it. 42-24. It's back to the biggest lead of the game right now for the Pels. It's 18. It's a 7-0 run for the Pelicans. Irving from Durant, right wing side. Irving falling away from 18, missed off the front of the rim, rebounded there by Nicholas Claxton. Gives it back to Irving, slithering his way inside, missed it all, and rebounded by Claxton again and put in. So if I was going to give a gold star right now to somebody on Brooklyn, it would definitely be Nicholas Claxton. 9 points and 5 rebounds. A couple offensive rebounds back to back. Ingram, bailout pass for Herbert Jones. Oh, a toilet seated out of the rim. That was a great look, but he missed it. Now Irving leaves it for Durant off the bounce pass off the front of the rim. Durant's looked very cold here early. And now Brandon Ingram across the timeline. Quick trigger from Ingram to Devontae Graham, and he missed it. Rebounded by the Durantula. Chance now for Cam Thomas. Couple of chop steps. Floater. Makes it from 16. And now it's 42-28. Good work there by Cameron Thomas. Ingram. Going to call some signals out, but instead his coach, Willie Green, is going to call a timeout. 42-28. Come right back. We're in the middle of the first half action. It's been all Pelicans. We'll still see again if the Nets can dig back into this game. So I will say this, with the recorder off and just the YouTube side, I can definitely say that I like what I'm seeing on the NBA League Pass side, the 4K Fire Stick Max from Amazon side of it. Again, I'm watching on the NBA League Pass, courtesy of NBA 2K23 Championship Edition. $150 for a reason. One of those situations where NBA League Pass would be the same for the year, so you might as well get both versions of the game, depending on your console, whether it be Xbox or PlayStation, and then get League Pass thrown in. So that's going to allow me to cover stuff from week to week as far as doing the broadcast and actually doing the full game. So I'm enjoying it right now. The only thing I would say is, even with the 4K television and the LG C1, I got that for $729. It was regular $2,000 when it was coming out like a year and a half ago here. Because usually on the January side is when you get the new TVs. This is a $729 closeout, as we're having the C2s and C3s will be coming out next January. So I would say one thing against the NBA League Pass side is I would think that the feed is more 720p, but it's still pretty crystal and it's still pretty clear as far as not having to do too much buffering on the side. And maybe the NBA app would be more affluent if you weren't using a 4K Fire Stick. Maybe the Roku side is better, maybe something else like that. The mobile app or the stick app might not be as good. But still, I'm not having too many issues with it. I like seeing all of the other festivities on the sideline because it feels like you're actually at the game, not having to deal with all the TV commercials. So if you're an NBA fan, or if you're an NHL fan at that, which is really nice, is the ESPN Plus feed. It gets all the NHL games, and that's a hell of a lot cheaper just on ESPN Plus. You still have to deal with some TV commercials when there is those, but you can watch all those games, and all the NHL stuff is cheaper than like Center Ice or any of those other packages. Or if you're in Canada, it's a hell of a lot more. So just something to think about. Sorry, water fell there, but thankfully the cap was on. Got some equipment there. I don't want to get wet. Thank you for joining me on the Colorcast and YouTube side here as we're getting underway of the first half again. It's 6:05 left to go in the first half as Brandon Ingram's got on the right wing side. He's going to launch the three. He's going to miss it. Rebounded there by Cameron Thomas. So O'Neal now with Thomas. Thomas on the right wing. He's going to back away a little bit as Brandon Graham is kind of posing him there. There's a chance for Marshall and Durant. Durant's going to let it go from 18. He's going to rattle it in toward the right wing side. And now Brooklyn is within 12. They were down by as much as 18. Jonas Valanciunas just crossing the timeline right now, trying to get around to Cam Thomas. Leaves it for Ingram. Now here's a pass to Marshall. Marshall with a series of between the legs. Tries to get down the lane. Valanciunas is wide from the right wing side for three, and that is a missed assignment. This guy can shoot now over the last couple of seasons, Jonas Valanciunas. So he can do the damage inside the paint. He can do the damage from deep, and that's what Brooklyn found out. It's 45-30. Cam Thomas. Now Durant right wing side. Durant trying to back down Marshall. Going to leave it here as Thomas got absolutely swatted, and it was last off him. So that's the double whammy there. You get a chance to look on the Yes Network that I'm watching is Kevin Durant just being able to effortlessly rise over his man and knock down a mid-range shot. When a guy's 6'11 and he's got that type of reach and shoot and ball handling ability, what do you do? They're still this late into Kevin Durant's career, still trying to answer those same questions. How do you stop it? Ingram trying to get down the lane, falling from 12 over Durant. Cans the mid-range jumper. 47-30 now. 4:40 left to go in the second. Patty Mills, right wing side, hits the three. So Patrick Mills has been in this league because he can knock down the three and run a backup point. He did just that there. Brandon Graham. Valanciunas thought about the three. He's going to get it at the Brooklyn logo. Now loose from Ingram as Valanciunas and Ingram play catch. Ingram, he wants to go to work on Durant. I can see the look in his eyes as he goes back to Brandon Graham. Graham with the floater from about 15. That was a long distance one, but it didn't go down. And now the Brooklyn Nets, they shot 30% in the first. They're up to 53% in the second. Simmons almost turns it over. Picked up now by Thomas and Mills. As Royce O'Neal able to save it. Patrick Mills has it now. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock as Valanciunas against Mills. And I think Valanciunas might have got called with the tickiest of tackiest fouls there. He doesn't like that one as Mills able to blow right by, and he just got the hand on the shoulder. I mean, are you kidding me with that one? Contact, they say, but I think that really doesn't matter as far as the basketball move, because he's still having some words there with the referee, but he's being soft-spoken about it, so he's not getting himself in trouble. So 3:54 left to go in the second quarter. John, I'm here with you in the Brooklyn Barclays Center, Brooklyn, New York. This is NBA opening night here for me between the Pelicans and the Nets. Again, Tuesday was the official opener between the Celtics and the Sixers and the Warriors and the Lakers. Where the Celtics and the Warriors are 1-0 on the season. I don't think there's much to say in night one for those teams that won and those teams that lost. But the one thing I wanted to reiterate in this contest of what you should say is you get to see Zion on the court and you get to see Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant and whether or not Ben Simmons can also coexist. As Simmons just was way off on the free throw. So Jonas Valanciunas, Travis Kelce, they're showing who they look like on the Yes Network side. And I would say Kelce's got more of a tan. That's the only thing I see right now. That's the difference. Simmons missed it all on both free throws. He's normally around a 50% free throw shooter. He's very poor, and he also plays point guard, so that's not very good on that side. Herbert Jones, 16-footer, missed it. Tapped in by Valanciunas. So the Travis Kelce lookalike that they just showed on the Yes Network, Jonas Valanciunas makes it 49-33. Kevin Durant with a quick answer from the top of the key three. It's now 49-36. 3:20 left to go. Thank you for following me on the Courtcast and the YouTube side. We're looking at the Yes Network and then the NBA League Pass. If you want the clear audio, you get the Colorcast side. But I appreciate anyone on the YouTube. Rapper Jones inside of Valanciunas. That was gorgeous, and it was very calculated and calm. Moved the ball deep inside with a bunch of players around there in the traffic. Durant weaving into the baseline. draws the foul with the help of Durant Sharp. He's going to go to the line as Brooklyn is in the bonus. 3 minutes left to go in the second. Durant just trying to get around Jonas Valanciunas. He does, and somehow, whether it's Herbert Jones or Valanciunas, got a piece of the hand, but I really didn't see it there in all honesty. But again, Durant's going to go to the line. They'll shoot two. Durant's normally around a 90% free throw shooter, about the best there is, and that shouldn't be an announcer's jinx as he knocks down the first one. So Durant, the only question really is this. Again, we talked about it early through the broadcast. It's not what he does in the regular season. You know, the guy averages about 30 points. He can get you maybe 7, 8 rebounds, probably 5, 6 assists. It's one of those situations. What's Brooklyn going to do in the postseason? You got Kyrie Irving, you got Kevin Durant, you got Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons didn't play pretty much all last season after coming over from the trade of the Philadelphia 76ers. What are you going to do in the playoffs, and are you going to be ascertained to actually play the whole season and be engaged? As Zion Williamson forces his way and gets the two. So Zion, another one of those pieces that we can talk about. He's battled through the injuries. Every time he sees Ben Simmons, he uses that Shaq term of he goes right to the lane and lays it right in. He doesn't care if he's there. He's going to go right to the post and attack him. So that's really the situation you have for Brooklyn. Wake me up when the playoffs start, and for the Pelicans, if we can keep Zion healthy, then we can get to the postseason. That's really your two iterations in game number one here of an 82-game regular season. So Zion completes the and one. It's 54-38. Pelicans with the lead. 2:40 left to go in this first half. Again, you can follow along on NBA League Pass if you want the video feed. Royce O'Neal got around Valanciunas for the right wing side and laid it right in. That was a great move. Maybe Valanciunas didn't want to pick up his third foul just in the first half. He only gets 6. Ingram inside Zion. Great defense there from Durant and great help. But are they going to call it against Durant? So New Orleans is going to get called for the foul. So Zion put his head down against Ben Simmons. Durant came and stripped the ball away from him, and then Zion wrestled down Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant gave him a tap on the head and said, "Don't worry about it. Good hustle there." So Durant's going to go to the line to shoot 2. So again, this should be some easy points here for Brooklyn, and they can get themselves back within 12. Pelicans' highest lead in this contest was 18. And so far, especially if we go back into our first quarter score by quarters, and I'm glad you get tongue-tied saying that one, it's 32-14 from the first quarter. Now it's 54-41 in totality as Ben Simmons will get set to check out here for Steve Nash. So Steve Nash, ever since taking over the Brooklyn Nets job, has still had to pull the hair out or whatever he's got left. But it's one of those situations where Brooklyn's always gone along the lines of finding a way to collect talent. And even when they do draft talent, they trade them to acquire bigger pieces. That's what Brooklyn's done ever since about their 10 years of existence. I can't believe it's been that long. Zion spinning. Great defense there by the big-time effort there of Nick Claxton. A 3 for Durant. Knocks it down. So Claxton with the block on Zion, and then Durant with the right wing 3. And now the Nets back within single digits. It's 9, 54-45. CJ McCollum doubled. Got to give it up to Ingram. Right wing side. Jonas Valanciunas against Durant. Durant swats it away. Durant picks it up now, left to right across the timeline. Shoots the 3. Misses it all. I would have caved the roof in on Barclays right now, but he missed it. And now McCollum, left wing side against Kyrie Irving. Give to Jonas Valanciunas. And this is going to be an off-ball foul as Royce O'Neal doesn't like it. But $1:34 left to go in the first. All of a sudden now, the Nets are within 9. Couple of threes there, some free throws. Kevin Durant, he got himself going with 4 made free throws and a 3 over the last stretch of it. So 7 straight points for the Durantula. This is picked up now by Jonas Valanciunas. Now Zion trying to do some work. Couple extra dribbles, trying to get down the lane. Tipped by Valanciunas. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. And puts it in. 56-45. Pelicans with the lead. Their lead is back up by double digits. 32-20 Pels got the lead in the paint. So Kyrie, top of the key, trying to work on CJ, puts his head down, tries the acrobatic layup, leave it up for Claxton. Claxton, I believe, got an elbow up into the face inadvertently. Honestly, he was just trying to find the basketball. And this is going to go against Nicholas Claxton as Willie Green just trying to make sure he's got the signals and the right personnel ready to go here with a minute 3 left to go in the first half. John on here with you. I'm following along on the Yes feed at Barclays Center on NBA League Pass. You can follow along on League Pass side or the Colorcast side if you want clear audio. And I appreciate anyone that's kind of moved in and out of YouTube right now. Zion inside to Brandon Ingram. Trying to get around. Royce O'Neal cans the fade from about 18 feet. 58-45 now. Pels up by 13 again. 45 seconds left to go in the first half. Durant got it at the Brooklyn logo. Now at the top of the key, being worked by Devontae Graham. Durant taking his time right now, trying to get the 2-on-1, or 2-for-1, I should say. Durant trying to get around Graham. He canned the basket and drew the foul. Kevin Durant, he was cold in the first. He's cold no longer. The only issue now is whether he can carry that fire into the intermission at the half because he's got 10 straight Nets points. That was a floater. He drew the contact on Graham. He was trying to wait for the 2-for-1. He got it all, and we'll see if he can get this and one free throw attempt. So Durant has started to heat up. And this can get the Brooklyn Nets within 10. Yes, it does. 58-48, 30 seconds left to go in the first half. It's been a good contest, and the Pelicans have led by as much as 18. They're still up by 10, 58-48. Ingram, got it at the Nets logo. It's Ingram against O'Neal. Ingram going to take his time. He wants the isolation clear out. Down to 5 seconds now. Ingram down the lane, trying to power it over everybody. Blocked there by Nick Claxton again. And now this is going to be a violation as the Nets were able to stop the Pelicans from picking it up. And that was Durant. With the help of Claxton, they got a piece of it. So not only has Durant scored the last 10 points, also got a big-time block there. So 7 seconds left to go in half. And Brooklyn can get this within single digits, I imagine. The trigger man will get this one in between Royce O'Neal, the Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant. They're going to give Kyrie Irving a chance to get the last possession here alongside Durant because Pelicans need these points. Again, it's still the first half, 7 seconds left. Kevin Durant, 15 on 4 of 7. So he started off 3 and then made the last 4. So Durant got across the timeline, left to right, pass inside to O'Neal. Floater, no, tipped in! 2.2 seconds left. And Royce O'Neal able to get Brooklyn within 8. 58-50 as we've hit the halftime point. Pelicans lead 118, now down to 8. When we come back, we will call second half action starting with the third quarter. See you guys in a bit. I appreciate anyone that's following along on the YouTube side. I'm just going to plug my phone in for the Colorcast and we'll get some first half particulars.
The American Express shop is located on the main concourse outside of Section 6. Remember, eat that, grab, and go. It's fast, easy, and checkout free.
So let's get some first half particulars here. I can get you some stats. It is an 8-point lead at the half for the Pels. It was as much as 18. It's 58-50 is your halftime score right now. So let's get you some particulars here as far as what we see. So Kevin Durant, 6 of 12 shooting, 21 points, 2 of 6 from 3, 7 of 7 from the line. So he's really heated up in the second half right now. And for the Pelicans, it is a host of players that are in double digits right now. So Jonas Valanciunas is the leading scorer with 6 of 11, 1 of 1 from 3. He's got 13 points. He's a plus 10. It's CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, and Zion with 11. So good balanced scoring. Kyrie Irving very quiet in this contest. 2 of 9, 0 of 2 from 3, 4 points. And Ben Simmons played 14 minutes. He's only casted one shot. He's made it. He's 0 of 2 from the line. So if that sounds per usual of what you would expect, that's what we have right now. So as we got NBA League Pass going on, and they have some halftime performances going on for the Brooklyn Nets, what I can do, if you would like, is I can move the game here and see what's actually under action and call something as we go along, and I'll get some of my stats and everything else together. So what is underway right now that we can call? I think the Wizards, the NBA League Pass side would probably be blacked out on that side. So let's see what the score is. This is underway. So this is in the third quarter. Let's flip over to the Pistons game, if you don't mind here, because that is local for me here. So we'll flip back on the NBA League Pass there for a second. We'll flip on the Pistons game, because that's going on right now. And then we will go back to our featured contest. So on the local side, the Red Wings don't play till Friday, so Pistons got a chance to open the season. I think they're at Orlando tonight. They're at home tonight. They're at LCA. So this is the Pistons home opener. And this is one of those situations where I would expect Pistons. I don't want to be too negative as far as what they can do this season, but I expect this team maybe to win 22, 23 games. Maybe not too much here, but at the same time, Jaden Ivey's got 16 on 7 and 12 and 3 steals and 4 assists. So Jaden Ivey's having a hell of a contest right now against the Orlando Magic.
This is 5 for 8 on triple tries in the third. They started the game nothing out of 10 out distance. What do you want to see the Pistons take on LeBron and the Lakers or Giannis and the Bucks? The choice is yours, fans. There's 10 or more games of exclusive rate with the 10-game flex plan. Visit Pistons.com/tickets to learn more. Caro splits at the strike. 73-69 Pistons. Ace Cunningham. Stop picks the grab one against one another. Scored just what the doctor ordered. It's really good. Especially if you want you to add to the Pistons roster. He is 5 of 6 now from triple win, and he really knows how to come off screens. He reads them so well, and that's a big part of being open for those shots, knowing how to come off the screen and read what the defender is doing. 3 for 3 from behind the long line in the third. And Carroll watched it. Inside and missing. I said, they reduced it. These two everywhere. Some plays, spectacular, some plays.
All right, so Durant with 21. Again, like we said, it was 20 to 8 points in the paint there for the New Orleans Pelicans in the first half. Again, I'm just watching the Pistons and Magic right now on the local side as we're in the halftime of our game. Pistons got a 79-69 lead as Cade knocks down the three from the right wing side. And it looks like the Magic are going to be content to let this one go. We're watching this one from the LCA side, Cade's got 10 and 8. Jaden Ivey's got 16. And Jalen Suggs just hit a long range three on that side. That was nice.
Both guys can get to that basket, and both guys can finish.
And they want to get to the rim, and they can. Combo with the miss. Boy on the 4-foot, stops it, fires.
Oh, Bojan Bogdanovic. He's going to be a nice addition there from the Jazz. It's a 16-4 run. Again, I'm not quite sure how many games the Pistons will win this season between the 22 and 23 marker, maybe, but Bogdanovic is definitely a guy that can get you some points as Jalen Suggs knocked down back-to-back threes on the other end. We're just getting a little break from our game on the halftime side, so figured I would go back in and look over. I didn't want to leave everybody hanging because we're in halftime of our featured game. So Sadiq Bey's got on the right wing side. Jaden Ivey going to shoot a long right wing three and miss it all as this rebounded by Jalen Suggs. Again, we'll go back to our featured game once it hits the half side. So a good chance to look at Paulo Branquero as well from Duke. Oh my goodness, Jalen Suggs. 3 straight triples falling down. Cans it from the right wing. He has been pretty good here so far as we're getting a live look in between the Pistons and the Magic. Cade Cunningham and a chance for Bogdanovic, and he got reached in. So yeah, Jalen Suggs for the Orlando Magic has been everywhere right now, just knocking down 3 after 3 after 3, just to try to get something going right now for the Magic. Again, they're getting very close. And once we get into our official broadcast, I will flip back over. So let's get some other scores while we're waiting, shall we? So on the baseball side of it, San Diego has tied the NLCS with an 8-5 win over the Phillies, and the New York Yankees and the Houston Astros are tied at 1. The Yankees have runners on second and third. That game was on TBS. Obama turns it over here for Magic. Oh, looks like Bull on that side. That is Bull. Remember, a trade was rescinded not too long ago, early in the last season, where the Pistons tried to get Bull. Then the Celtics tried to get Bull, and now the Magic have Bull. So he's been everywhere, but he is here with the Magic. A lot of size there with Mo Bamba, and Bull. Killian Hayes, Sadiq Bey. Killian Hayes, top of the key for 3, missed off the front of the rim, rebounded by Sadiq. Sadiq just needs a dribble outlet. Killian trying to go baseline, leaves a pass there for Pistons and hits a 3. That's Kevin Knox knocking that one down. So now 89-78, and down the other end, Orlando trying to draw the foul. They do. This one is going to go against Killian Hayes. So the Pistons trying to get their first game of the season in their home opener. It's 89-78. Again, I probably will do some Pistons games at that point, being the home team. Don't know how many games they're going to win. As we said, Pistons, wow, they started 0 for 10 in this game from 3, another 13 of 21 cents, so they've really heated up. And Steve Bay always has a little bit of a dye on the right part of his hair. Again, mine's all receding now. It's green this year, though, from what I see. Bamba. Jalen Suggs, right wing. Another one. My God, Jalen Suggs. He's got the trigger locked right now, and he doesn't care who's in his face. Cade. Here for Jalen Duren. And Suggs is doing the tantrum dance with kicking the feet. Was he a 4-year-old? Getting mad drawing the foul. That's a lot of theatrics there for Jalen Suggs. Love the threes. I hate the baby-looking face there for Suggs. Why does he look like he's crying? Is he actually hurt, or is he screwing around? What is going on? That is the stupidest thing I've ever seen there from Jalen Suggs. I'm sorry. He acted like a 4-year-old kid, literally, stomping his feet all over the Pistons logo, and then ran to the referee with his hands on his eyes and did this. Now he's walking normally. What the hell did I just witness? Okay, folks, that is something very special that I just witnessed. So Jalen Duren misses both free throws. Paulo Branquero at the top of the key right now, working on Cade. Cade trying to stay in front of one of the Magic right now. Bamba as we get there. What a block there by Killian Hayes as he took it away near the top of the cylinder. Tries to get around Duren. Duren lost it and picked up now by the Magic as they go right to left across the timeline. Paulo Branquero now trying to get around Hamidou Diallo. Branquero with a series of moves. And did he shuffle his feet is the question, or did the Pistons foul? That's Hamidou Diallo being called. The theatrics, I will not get over that, folks. The theatrics that I just witnessed there from Jalen Suggs was that of a 4-year-old throwing a tantrum on the floor because he didn't get their favorite toy. Absolutely ridiculous. Branquero is going to go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. He makes the first, and the Magic deficit now is within 7. Trying to get it within 6. So Paulo Branquero makes both free throws. And again, I'm just doing a little bit of intrigue here and reconnaissance as our game is at half. I'm watching the Pistons game and the Orlando Magic right now. The Pelicans-Nets. Pelicans have an 8-point lead on the Nets, 58-50. I'm watching this Pistons game right now. Cade probing down the lane, lays it in. 91-83 your score as we're going to get set to end this third quarter as the Magic got the last possession. Branquero bringing it right to left across the timeline, trying to get around Jalen Duren. Extra pass, Suggs falling away, missed it. That's going to end the third. 91-83, Pistons got the lead. I'm going to flip back into the game of the evening here. So that was a nice little live look-in that we got. I wanted to keep everybody entertained as I will go back into this NBA League Pass app. So I appreciate anyone that's followed along. We got a live look-in between the Pistons and the Orlando Magic. We're going to go back into our featured game here. So half is Bulls Heat at 59. Cavs Raptors 57-51. Grizzlies got a 61-46 lead. The Spurs are just getting destroyed by the Hornets right now, 51-34. Timberwolves got a big lead on the Thunder, 48-33. That game is on ESPN tonight. Jay Jennings, how you doing, boss? How you doing here tonight on this NBA season opener for other than 4 teams? We're getting really back underway here in this second half between the Brooklyn Nets and the New Orleans Pelicans. So I kind of flipped that at the right time. We got a nice live look in with the Pistons and the Magic, and now we can go back into our featured contest. So getting back into our play-by-play now, Jonas Valanciunas already draws the foul as we're really just underway. 11:54 left to go in the third. It's 58-50. I'm flipping through the games also. Yeah, so the way I'm doing this is from the NBA League Pass on the NBA 2K23 Championship Edition. Yes, I know $150 is a lot of money, but $150 was also like the price of League Pass. So it helps me get to cover some games, write some articles, and also watch and flip through. So this contest has been pretty good here, Jay Jennings. In one of those situations where the Pelicans have had as much of an 18-point lead, it's down to 8. Kevin Durant really heated up in the second quarter. McCollum tries to go baseline with the Zion, as easy as you like. 60-50 now as the Pelicans lead back up by 10 as we're really just kicking off this second half. Simmons across the timeline now, right to left across your radio dial as Nick Claxton has it at the top of the key. Claxton tried to leave it for Durant near the right wing side, and then to make sure he didn't step out of bounds. Durant, shimmy, Half spin, lays it in with the jump shot there. Pretty much a lay-in, I should say. 60-52 as Durant hit it from about 7 feet. Ingram with a 14-foot turnaround and draws the foul there on Royce O'Neal. He didn't like it, but Ingram will be going to the line to shoot two. So a chance for Durant on the looking on the yes side. When you get a chance to work on anybody, whether it's Marshall or anyone else you throw on there on the New Orleans side, it can be Ingram, it can be Zion, it can be anybody else. Kevin Durant can get into any spot he likes and be able to score with that 6'11" reach. A lot of courtside seats and everything else empty right now for the Brooklyn Nets side. I wonder if all these guys are just trying to go get food as we're getting back underway of the second half, really, because you would think when you pay all that money for tickets like that, you'd want to be watching the game, but I digress. 23 points, 7-13 is Kevin Durant. First free throw was missed there by Brandon Ingram. He's got a chance for another one. He's got the full 5 o'clock shadow, more than that, and he's got the wild hairline. Brandon Ingram, as he missed both. So he looks like me when I just get out of bed right now. So Ben Simmons, although he's got a lot more hair, let's be honest. Ben Simmons now right to left across the timeline. Going to leave it here for Durant. Durant has been cooking since the second quarter. Missed it off the front of the rim, though, that time, and Brandon Ingram will take this left to right. Pelicans trying to get their lead back up by double digits. Need some help now at the top of the key. Going to dump it into Zion. It's a big mismatch. Extra pass. Herbert Jones got it blocked by Durant. It came back to him. Jonas Valanciunas thought about the three. CJ McCollum will take it from the right wing. Simmons tried to tap up the rebound. Zion finds it. Cleans up the mess and puts it in. Pelicans lead back up by 10 as Zion's been active in this game, and he's been good. It's been good balance scoring for the Pels as well. He's got 15. 19-4, that's where the Pelicans really lead, is the second chance points. Kyrie Irving missed the left wing three, tried to get tapped around there by Cam Thomas and Nick Claxton, and it couldn't be done there. So this goes now between Brandon Ingram. Ingram trying to work on Claxton as he got the switch, pretty much going to go down the lane, I would expect. He did draw the foul, so no hesitation there for Mr. Brandon Ingram, as I would expect. You get the little matched up on a big, but again, as I say that, that's pretty much Brandon Ingram, about 6'9", and Nick Claxton about the same size. But usually when you have a forward against the center, you want to go right in. You got that speed mismatch, and Ingram didn't hesitate. But this time he's got to knock down a couple of these free throws. He missed the first two when he was up there. So Ingram pretty much attempts a 3 and 4, let's say. He makes the first one. He's got a chance for one more, as it's going to be 63-52 right now. The ColorCast scoreline is a little bit ahead of my feed, so I'll just relay it as I see it. And Ingram makes both. So this time he atoned for the sins of missing two last time. So it's 10 minutes left to go in this third quarter. John here with you from Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. It's the opener between the Pelicans and the Nets. Two teams that have dark horse potential, but potential is all it is right now. Jonas Valanciunas got a piece of it. Zion Williamson cleans up the mess. And here comes Ingram racing down the right wing side, spinning off Durant. Leaves it here for Zion, and Zion goes, here you go, big fellow, go back against Durant. He's going to do that. Try to go baseline at Ingram. And Ingram's going to draw the foul. And Kevin Durant can't believe it. So Ingram, over the last three possessions, has put his head down, trying to get to the rim and do his work. And you got to like that if you're Willie Green. And if you're Steve Nash, I think you just want to monitor the situation that Kyrie and Kevin Durant don't get into foul troubles. Kevin Durant's already at 2. So Zion, down the lane. Missed it off the front of the rim. Rebounded there by Royce O'Neal. Going to leave here for Durant as he gets across the timeline. Cross-court pass, wrap in now Ben Simmons. We'll see if Ben Simmons can do better than one-on-one. Irving, sweet spin move. Fades away from 14 and puts it in. The handles of Kyrie Irving always impress, among the other things you can talk about. He's always good at that. CJ McCollum on the right wing side, give inside. Royce O'Neal, Zion got the mismatch. It's pretty much an isolation. And Zion, he wanted the foul call. He didn't get it, but he made the basket anyway. 66-54 now. Durant working his way at the top of the key. Jab steps back and forth. As now he's working his way at the top of the key arc. Now goes inside a 14. Count and one! Kevin Durant. And Zion can't believe it, but Kevin Durant makes the contested jumper as he put his head down a little bit toward the right side and give a little sly look there to Zion. I like that. So I understand you might be able to overpower me in the post, but you cannot handle this jump shot, these handles. Kevin Durant going to try to make something happen with the and one. 25 tonight, KD, but he missed the free throw though. 25 points in the first 5 games of the last season. 25 plus. Is it 25 in the first game of this 22-23 season? Ingram. Series of chop steps, contested from 18. Good defense there by Royce O'Neal. And Kevin Durant's going to get the rebound. Durant now. Working his way to the right wing, falling away from Valanciunas. Missed it, but that was a good look for Durant, considering he's just been on fire from everywhere right now, ever since the second quarter. That first quarter is a formality in Kevin Durant's mind. This is a good mismatch for Valanciunas on Simmons with the size, about 4 feet at that. He missed it. Valanciunas trying to find a race and get it back. He does. Brooklyn Nets couldn't find the ball. CJ McCollum now into Jonas Valanciunas. Down to 7:50 left to go in the third. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. McCollum cans the 3. And you can credit the effort there from Valanciunas. There's nobody from the Brooklyn side went to go back and pick up the basketball. Kevin Durant now trying to work on Ingram on the right wing. Bounce pass inside to Simmons. Got it knocked away. And I think this is going to be last touched by New Orleans. So this should stay with Brooklyn. 69-56 your score. Again, it's been a lead as much as 18 here for the Pelicans, but it's kind of hovered around that mark. And the Nets have got as close to 8. Turnover there. Durant, that's his 5th. McCollum with a 4-on-2. Still waiting for help. Zion finds it and finishes it. 71-56. Steve Nash wants the TO. 7:28 left to go. Pelicans with the lead. Come right back. Let's call more third quarter action in a moment.
The first Friday Night Live of the season is coming this Friday, October 21st, when your Nets face off against the Toronto Raptors. The first 10,000 fans will receive an exclusive Toronto t-shirt. So get your tickets now at SeatGeek.com/Nets. Now we head over to Allie. Oh, Allie, what you got going on?
Oh, Olivia, what we all got going on. We got Nets live selfie cam. All you gotta do, use the QR code on the video board and take a live selfie. That's right. We're talking about in action. We want to get you a part of the game. So go ahead and do that now so we can get involved. Oh, you got to do that.
I know we were doing a little bit of a feature there for the Pistons and the Magic as we were waiting for this game to get back underway. It's 71-56 as we get a timeout with 7:20 left on the third. The Pistons leads now down to 4 with 7:05 left on the fourth. Jalen Suggs with a little extracurricular after the threes. He acted like a 4-year-old with a tantrum and he got drawn with a foul, which I didn't like, but his games look good. Any other scores to make note of? Wizards got a 14-point lead on the Pacers, 94-80. Hawks 10-point lead over the Rockets, 75-65. Pelicans Nets, it's our featured game, 71-56 as we said. Bulls and Heat. Bulls got a 73-68 lead over the Heat. No Zach LaVine. He's already getting load management. That concerns me. Cavs Raptors, 64-62 with 7:23 left in the third. Knicks Grizzlies. It's going to be Griffin Cass with the call on the ColorCast side if you want to check that game out. It's 73-57. We're going to try to replay this because I had an error on my feed. So let's do that again. Timberwolves Thunder 59-44. 68-47 is your score for the Hornets as they have the lead. So quickly, if I have any errors, I can just click on the 4K Fire Stick. So I appreciate that. So the feed, I'm trying to see as smooth as it can be. Again, I can't show it on the YouTube side, but I'm following along on the Yes Network on NBA League Pass. Back under the official action right now. 7:20 left to go in the third quarter. Kyrie Irving now for Royce O'Neal inside to Nick Claxton, but he couldn't finish it. But it was a good look, though. Now is a chance for Brandon Ingram. against Royce O'Neal. He's got it on the right wing side. Puts his head down, trying to get in the lane. Over the jump step of Durant. Ball fake to CJ McCollum. Left wing open three, and he missed it and rebounded by Durantula. Quickly inside, give back from Claxton to Kyrie Irving. That was a great design, but Kyrie missed it all. He's been very quiet in this contest. I think he's only made 2 baskets. He's taken 10 shots. So Ingram. CJ, what a move between the legs. Nails the jumper from 18. And the Pelicans now up 73-56. It's a 7-0 run again. And this is a game that at times has never really seemed to be close. It's down by as much as 18, get it within 8. That's kind of been the story of the game right now. Is Zion might have been called there for the foul. He doesn't like it there, but Kyrie very strong, able to keep those handles alive and able to draw the foul against Zion. With 6:23 left to go in the third, as Willie Green is going to go get ahead to make some substitutions right now. Appreciate anyone that's been following along on the YouTube and Colorcast side, as always, guys. We will have a hockey assignment tomorrow as we go back on the ice between the Dallas Stars and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Royce O'Neal, top of the key three, knocks it down. 73-59, as Brooklyn has been just trying to make inroads ever since this game started. It's been a wire-to-wire lead here for the Brooklyn Nets, or the New Orleans Pelicans. Brooklyn Nets wish they had a wire-to-wire lead. Pass inside for Herbert Jones, and he got the bucket and the foul from a pass from Jonas Valanciunas. So they get a three, and he answers with a three the old-fashioned way with the and one. Quick cut there by Herbert Jones. No chance for Royce O'Neal, and everybody was just watching. And that's not what you want on defense there. So Herbert Jones is a guy that was coming from the G League last year, I believe, the G League affiliate. He started with New Orleans a little bit late last year. He was able to stay on because he was able to hustle and do a little bit of everything, and that's what I've seen so far in this game from Herbert Jones. So Simmons, now at the top of the key, going to leave it here for the Snake. Kevin Durant, fall away from 18. He missed it off the front of the rim. Rebounded there by Brandon Ingram. So Ingram now working his way across the timeline, left to right. Herbert Jones going to cast from three. He's going to knock it down again. So he got an and one three, and then he got a three there. 79-59. Pelicans lead up the highest it's been, 20. It's a 13-3 run, and now the ball's going the other way, an offensive foul against Ben Simmons. So if you want to talk about, again, Ian Eagle won't say this working for the Yes Network, and I don't blame him. You can't criticize too much of the team that you get paid for because that's how they can you. But in the situation of you want to see a little bit more from Ben Simmons, he's got 5 fouls. He's got 2 points. You got to be able to do much more than that. There really is no excuse. I don't care about the time that you miss. I know all the other mental acuities that's very difficult to be able to deal with, and I'm not even going to go down that road. But when your team really needs you and you're expected to be a big piece, you got to do better than 5 fouls and 2 points. That's partially why they're down 20. Kyrie Irving hasn't played well either. So Brandon Ingram now trying to get around Kevin Durant, falling away from 18. Ingram cans it, and the foul. This is getting nasty right now as the New Orleans Pelicans are just giving the Brooklyn Nets the old Hadouken, the Ryu and Ken, if you will, from Street Fighter. They are absolutely killing them, and yes, Kevin Durant did get a piece of the hand, but it makes no mistake for me as I'm watching from the Yes Network. The little Marv Albert, yes. So 82-59, 5:05 left to go in the third. It's all Pelicans right now. A 16-3 run. Durant, he's been the offense as he's used to. Patty Mills all alone, left wing side. That was a missed assignment. Allow Patty Mills to get a warm-up jump shot from the left corner, and the Pelicans now still down by 20. Ingram, top of the screen. Top of the key, screen from Valanciunas. Knocks it down from 18. Brandon Ingram starting to cook a little bit. 84-62. 4:35 left to go in the third. Durant, right wing side. He's got the Brooklyn logo, their 10th season. This leaves it for Irving falling away. Try to get tapped up there by a host of Nets, and Duran Sharp couldn't find it as this goes back to Ingram, right wing side. Ingram working on Sharp. Shot clock down to 12, about 4:10 left to go in the third. Jose Alvarado missed the three, saved by Trey Murphy. There's a chance now for Ingram to step into a three. Knocks it down. 87-62. Take some of that with you. Timeout, Steve Nash. This has been a game that is starting to look like a smackdown here in the third quarter as the Pelicans have an 87-62 lead over the Nets. Again, it's just game one, so I won't reiterate some of my narratives that I think a lot of you guys are still believing. You believe that the Pelicans are a playoff team, you believe the Nets are a playoff team. But it only is one of those situations, depends on the health of Zion Williamson and also the stability of Durant, Irving, and Simmons. I think that's fair. I think we all agree on all that stuff. But it's one of these situations. Let's say I'm sitting in home court right now and I'm watching this on NBA League Pass. You get a chance to not watch the commercials. I'm seeing everything else that you would see if you were sitting there live. But if I'm paying for a ticket for this game right now, I'm a little bit pissed off right now, quite frankly, if I'm sitting in the seats because my team is not competing. They're not playing on defense at all. There's been a lot of missed assignments. There's been a lot of turnovers. And Ben Simmons, let's see, I want to make sure I get this right as far as what we have on our box. And I'm going to go ahead and scroll down because I know I had this in front of me. I have both of these off the wrong side. So excuse me, we'll click back into our box score now. So Ben Simmons has 5 fouls. And he's got a grand total of 2 points on 1 of 1 in 20 minutes. That's absolutely unacceptable to me. There really isn't anything else that I can say. You got to be able to bring more. You got to shoot more than one shot if you're Ben Simmons. And I'm not going to put all the blame on him, but at the same time, Kyrie Irving's played very poor. Ben Simmons has been a ghost, and Kevin Durant has been by himself. That kind of puts you in a situation where you would think the Nets are struggling, and that's why the scoreline is at 87-62. If you look on the other end of it, let's flip all these parts around in the ESPN box score. It's 21 for Ingram, 19 for Zion, 13 for Valanciunas, 16 for McCollum. All your starters are doing damage, and the Pelicans only have 12 points off bench points. So everybody's being productive here for the Pelicans. Nobody's being productive here for the Brooklyn Nets, with the exception to me of Nicholas Claxton, because Claxton has 9 points and 4 of 5 shooting. He's got 6 rebounds. He's got a steal. He's got a couple blocks. He's really the only guy right now I think that's showing any effort. Let's get back into our official action right now. They're showing Brandon Ingram. Why not? 21 points, 8 of 13 shooting, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. He's been excellent, but again, so has a lot of the New Orleans Pelicans. You look on the other side of this, Yuri Watanabe gets some time here for the Brooklyn Nets. And if you remember Yuri Watanabe, and sorry, Yuri, for this, you remember him getting dunked on by Anthony Edwards. And that is what he's known for right now, but he is in the NBA, and I'm not, because I'm broadcasting this right now. I'm just a man with cerebral palsy broadcasting this game. So let's see what happens right now as Edmund Sumner immediately almost turns it over. Nets trying to find it with Duron Sharp. He saves it inside to Patrick Mills, right wing 3 instead. He gets tipped around by Duron Sharp, but picked up. Brandon Ingram, quick pass across the timeline here to Jose Alvarado. Ingram is going to try to go to work on Patty Mills. Instead, will pass into Valanciunas. Needs to work this around the horn. Great move there by Trey Murphy. Going to leave it there for Marshall. Missed the mid-range jumper. And now it's Mills, Sumner, Durant, Watanabe, and Sharp right now for the Nets. So it's pretty much Kevin Durant. That's what that tells me as he knocks it down from 16 feet. 87-64 is Durantula trying to get the Nets closer. I mean, he's been the only starter, but again, you would expect Durant to score. Only starter that's really had a pulse right now for Brooklyn, which is sad I have to say it, but it's the truth. Picked up now. Good bounce pass, back door. Ingram trying to make sure he didn't slam his head on the hardwood, and I think he did there. He got hit pretty hard. He tried to make an acrobatic move going baseline. He paid the price for it as Duron Sharp got a hand in there as well, smacked him across the head, and he couldn't brace his fall. And looking on the yes feed, he got a chance to look at the white of the eyes of Brandon Ingram before he slammed his head into the hardwood. So that did not feel good there for Brandon Ingram. And I don't think even the hair will be able to break the fall because he's got more than the 5 o'clock shadow and he's got the nice weave while mine's receding. So Ingram makes the free throw. He missed the first 2. He's made the last 5. Zion Williamson will check in. 3:04 left to go in the third. Herbert Jones will check out. Herbert Jones is pretty good. Zion 19, 9 of 18, 7 rebounds. Second free throw getting set here for Brandon Ingram, who's just inked his deal from last season all the way around the rim and in. So now it is 89-64 your score. Chance for Cam Thomas. Bringing the ball right to left across the timeline. Tried to accelerate, pass it around Sharp. What a beautiful hop step, and jams it right over to Larry Nance. Like that one there. That was a great move inside. So Brandon Ingram now gets a screen there from Nance. Has to try to shoot it over Durant. With the active hands, knocks it away. Murphy, extra pass. Zion inside. And one! 91-66. Zion looks good in his first game, but the question is for Zion, and I don't want to mention this, when is Zion going to get injured? Because if he doesn't, he's able to play a full season. It transforms what the New Orleans Pelicans can do, not to mention picking up C.J. McCollum from last season and having Brandon Ingram. A healthy Zion Williamson is what helps this team go. He does complete the and one, 92-66 your score. And Brandon Ingram just getting a little treatment there off the elbow. He fell hard on the elbow and the head. It's Patty Mills trying to weave his way across the timeline. He's going to leave it now for Kyrie Irving, working on Jose Alvarado. Irving, jump stop, through the traffic, lays it in. That was Kyrie Irving's most difficult basket of the game, but his layup ability made it look easy. Zion almost had it poked away from Duron Sharp. Tries to go baseline. Did he step out of bounds is the question. Yes, he did. Turnover there for the New Orleans Pelicans. Shouldn't matter right now as far as the scoreline. Brooklyn's got a whole other quarter to make inroads, but they got 2 minutes left in the third. It's 92-68. Patrick Mills is going to have to be the Brooklyn Nets logo right now. Kyrie Irving fake a pass. Tried to knock the 3 down, but he drew the foul. He's going to go to the line to shoot 3 free throws. So Kyrie Irving, I want to talk about this in the sense of I won't be as disparaging as I could be. All the fans know about all the stuff with Kyrie. It's whether or not, to me, he's just motivated to play basketball. That is the only question I would ask of Kyrie Irving. I don't care about vaccination statuses or anything else like that. First free throw is up and good. He's got 2 more coming. It's one of those situations whether or not he's motivated, but it's at the same time, if you're Brooklyn Nets management, you're Sean Marks, you're Steve Nash, you've done everything you possibly could. I know they traded some pieces, and I might not like some of the situation with losing Spencer Dinwiddie and things like that, but it's the direction they chose to acquire big pieces and make splashes. Obviously, the James Harden thing didn't work out. But now you got Ben Simmons. Now you got Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving's got to be one of the leaders on this team to be able to show alongside Kevin Durant. This is the unit that we have going forward. This is a team that can do some damage, and let's try to do something. Let's be motivated for a full 82-game season and get the job done. He's got to do that. But if he wants to do everything else, that's his prerogative. But it's one of those same situations as Nance gets the and one dunk. It's one of Kyrie Irving's situations where, okay, I've got more money than I need. It doesn't matter to me, but I would also be at the same time, I don't want to let my teammates down that are on the floor. They need this guy to be on the floor, and I hope that Kyrie Irving, among everything else that he does, can play a full season, show accountability, and do what he has to do. Because that matters, I think, when you're playing with those guys on the floor. So Larry Nance can't complete the and one. He did get a dunk, though, that one in. As Yuri Watanabe got called for a foul. 94-71 your score in the lead for the Pelicans. Kyrie Irving, a couple of sauce dribbles, but that shot's going to get negated. It's going to stay with the Nets, as Patty Mills got knocked down pretty hard there. So it was some moves on the previous ES Network side. I'm watching an NBA League Pass of, wow, that one hurt pretty hard there for Patty Mills, but an off-ball foul in the bonus. Going to put Mr. Patrick Mills at the line. He's been pretty good across his NBA career. You really can't call him a journeyman because it's mostly Spurs and now with the Nets as the first free throw was up and good. But one of those situations for Patrick Mills, and I think he's a guy that anybody would love to have. He runs an accountable point guard. He can make some threes. He's pretty smart about what he does. Good piece off the bench. And since coming over and playing for Team Australia and playing for the San Antonio Spurs and now Brooklyn, I think he's carved a very solid niche in the NBA. He makes both free throws. It's now 94-73. Pels with the ball right now. Jose Alvarado gets blocked by Deron Sharp as the Deron Sharp and Nick Claxton experience inside the paint are really the only ones showing a pulse right now for the Nets on defense. 21-point spread. This was a 2.5-point spread to start on the RotoWire and ESPN side. So this is going to be free throws the rest of the way. $1:21 left to go in the third. John here with you from the Yes Network in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. You can follow along on the YouTube side or on Colorcast side if you have an iPhone. Under John Ryan on, I'm doing the broadcast. Griffin Cass is doing the Colorcast side broadcast for the Knicks game tonight as well. First free throw is up and good for Trey Murphy. Next one can make it a 96-73 lead. The 23-point lead would be the largest of the game here for the Pels. They've led wire to wire, and they've looked good. Murphy makes both. 1:21 left to go in this third. Patrick Mills will race across the timeline now. He's got the Barclays Center logo and the blue font. Kyrie Irving, series of shakes. Missed the jumper, tried to get saved there by Sharp, but he missed the second chance points. And now Larry Nance Jr. being hounded there by Sharp, and no foul called. And now the pass was turned over with the help of Sharp. Irving, Patrick Mills fading away from the right wing, cans the three. So good work there by Patrick Mills, as he's been good since checking back in. Now 96-76. 53 seconds left to go in the third. And Willie Green just wants to take a timeout here to get the situation settled. Come right back. We'll finish the third quarter in a moment. So the Pistons lead is 1. It is 26 seconds left in the fourth. They're trying to win their home opener. Again, as I've talked about many times on the YouTube side, and I apologize, you wonder how many games the Pistons will win. Is it going to be above 22, 23? The Magic is one of the teams they probably have to beat tonight, one of the teams they'd be favored against, and it's close. The Wizards, up by as many as 15, trying to hold on against the Pacers right now, 105-97, with 3:38 left to go in the fourth. Hawks got plenty of time left. They got the lead, 91-86, as it's been a good run here for the Rockets. Şengün just made a hook shot inside the lane, gives the Hawks a 3-point lead now. Bulls and Heat. All Bulls right now as we're just getting ready to end the third. That's pretty much where we're at right now. Is that Carmelo Anthony? I think. 84-76. Cavs with the lead over the Raptors at the end of three quarters. Knicks only down 6 against the Grizzlies, 85-79. Griffin Cass on the call on the Colorcast side on that if you want to listen in. 45 seconds left to go in our featured contest between the Pels and the Nets in the third quarter. Alvarado trying to probe his leg inside the lane. Hook shot, missed it. Picked up by Patrick Mills. He's been good since coming off the bench. He's got 8 points in the last 3 minutes. Irving against Alvarado. Jab step makes the 2. Tough 2 with that one, a man in his face. It's now 24.9 seconds left to go as my feed just cut out. So we will follow along, and I will load back up on the NBA app. And I will keep you abreast of any other scores as we get our stoppage. I'm going to cut the recorder officially, though. So the Pistons have taken a 111-107 lead with 11 seconds left to go. Still plenty of time. The Magic have just taken a timeout. In our game right now with 4 seconds left to go in the third, the Pelicans have a 96-78 lead And we will load this one back up. How dare they just cut all the way back out? Maybe they're telling me, John, this game is too much of a blowout. You should switch it. But I have to write the game story for this game. This is the one I chose. So CJ McCollum at the line as we loaded back up our feed. 97-78. Kevin Durant will check back in for the final possession of the third quarter. And CJ McCollum trying to get the lead back up to 20. So again, as we've talked about, CJ has spent the majority of his career. This is his second team he's only ever known. It was Portland Trailblazers. There was reported February 8th, 2022, as he was no longer the sideline teammate there of Damian Lillard, and CJ's always been much more than a sideline teammate. So here's a chance now for Cam Thomas. Lost it. And that is pretty much going to end the third quarter, 98-78. And when we come back, we will count the fourth quarter action. Stay tuned. 5.5 seconds left. Sadiq Bey draws the foul. Paulo Branquero missed the previous jump shot. It's going to give the Pistons 2 free throws. It's now 111-108. See if we can follow along here. I won't be able to switch the game in time because it will cut, but let's look as far as we can. I might have to flip this game really quick. I will get back into the official action in a second. It's a 2-point game between the Pistons and the Magic, and I probably will be able to flip this in time. So Pistons trying to hold on. We're going to get back into our featured game in a moment. I want to give you the official score. I'm going to try to desperately scroll. My apologies, they'll get one in because ours is a 20-point contest with a little bit of Brooklyn-Nets dancers right now. So let's get you something in the interims, and then I want to be tied into. So right now, Bojan Bogdanovic at the line for the Pistons. 4 seconds left to go in this contest. Pistons trying to hold on a 2-point lead. Bojan's been good. 6 of 10 from distance, 22 points and 5 rebounds. He makes the first. He's got one more coming. It's 112-109. So Bojan Bogdanovic, I saw him a lot against the Dallas series where the Mavericks ended up winning that one in 6 games, but Bojan was money. Inside and from distance, Jaden Ivey loves it. It gives the Pistons a 4-point lead, and we'll flip back over. That should be all she wrote there, unless they kind of throw that one away. I'm going to flip back into our featured game now. Washington should be able to hold on against Indiana 110-102. It's Atlanta trying to hold on a 5-point lead against the Houston Rockets 95-90. Bulls have a 10-point lead against Miami at the end of the third. We'll flip back into our featured game. As we're really getting back underway. So I had to flip over on that side. So back underway in the fourth quarter of our featured contest, 98-78 is your score. Here's a chance now for the Pelicans to move this around. CJ McCollum way deep from the top of the key, from about 25 feet. He missed it, and now this goes to Simmons. Back pass there for Edmund Sumner. Sumner trying to go baseline there. Patrick Mills, left corner 3, cans the shot. It's 98-81. 11:15 left to go in the fourth quarter. Pelicans, they've led by as much as 23, and the Brooklyn Nets, even though they've been losing wire to wire, they've got within 8. And then CJ McCollum says, no, I'm not going to have any of that. Gets it back to a 20-point lead as he cans the 3. And the Pistons game has gone final 113-109. They get the opening win over the Magic. So I just wanted to get that little clarified and put away here as we get back into our featured action. So rebounded and then stolen. As the Nets had it, they gave it right to Zion. Here's a chance now for Trey Murphy. Cans the three at the top of the key. So this has been ugly in terms of the word here for the Brooklyn Nets. And I don't know if the home fans were expecting them to be losing 104-81 on opening night at Barclays Center, but that's where they are right now because they just played a little too sloppy. Simmons, inside pass, gets it back, gets it to Patrick Miller, right wing three, missed it all. Deron Sharp tried to jump up and jam it in, and it's going to be last touch by the Nets backup center. So it's going to be a turnover, or it should, unless they're going to say the Pelicans got a piece of it. It shouldn't look like it went off his hand. But the refs have better eyes than I do, so they're going to let Ben Simmons get this inbound here. Again, Ben Simmons just one of one shooting and all two from the line. Kyrie Irving missed the three, and now Alvarado will clean up the defensive rebound. Now Brandon Graham inside Zion Williamson puts his head down, draws the foul. 9:58 left to go in this fourth quarter. John on here with you. It's the New Orleans Pelicans with a 104-81 lead. As I'm following along on NBA League Pass on the Yes Network. If you want clear audio, you can follow along on the Colorcast app if you have an iPhone. Broadcasting under John Ryan. Griffin Cass has the Knicks and Grizzlies game here for us if you want to follow along on that side. So Trey Murphy going to be waiting for the ball. He gets it now. He's at the Barclays Center logo. 8 seconds to go on the shot clock. Zion thought about a three. He bullies his way down the lane over Sharp. Gets his rebound back. And it's tapped up and in by Larry Nance Jr. 106-81 now. Ben Simmons, right wing. Leaves it here for Kyrie. Kyrie against CJ McCollum. Series of jab step. Fall away left wing side. Missed the three from the corner, but he did create a lot of space. Taken away. Irving lobbed to Simmons. Dunks it. So both of Ben Simmons' baskets were lobs inside the paint. Nothing more and nothing less. He's got 4 points on 2 of 2 on 2 lobs and 0 of 2 from the line. This is now Ingram. Just picks it up there from Trey Murphy and stumbles, does Ingram, as that was adequately called there by Iron Eagle, doing the Yes Network sideline broadcasting. And Simmons might get set to check out here for Steve Nash. And again, I don't want to talk about this too lightly, but Ben Simmons has been fouled out. He was the one that pushed. So 23 minutes of action. This is the stat line for Ben Simmons, folks. Are you ready? 4 points on 2 lobs with 5 assists and 6 fouls. Sit down, sir. I could do that. He's got 4 more points than I do tonight. And again, I have cerebral palsy, but again, it doesn't matter. Ben Simmons, you got to be able to do more than that. I just don't understand the inauspicious audacity to not go inside the lane and use your size, and that is a careless foul against Murphy. Maybe a little bit of a ticky-tack when we got the hand underneath there, but when he knows he already had 5, you don't want to get 6. So back underneath the action now, CJ McCollum will draw it. He's going to go to the line, maybe. Kevin Durant will pick this one up. That is his third. So Ben Simmons' first game against June 21st, 2021. That was his first game. He's got 4 points, 6 fouls, falls out, and 2 lobs with 5 assists and 2 missed free throws. So that kind of just looks like to me, and no conjecture here, but I'll just throw it out there because what I say is probably conjecture, but it kind of looks like to me someone that's very disinterested. When you're 2 of 2 just on lobs, you don't want to shoot ball. I want you to miss shots. Who cares if you miss shots? Try. That's one of those things I want to see. So a technical foul. This one is Trey Murphy. He missed it. Kyrie Irving got called for taunting, apparently. Didn't see what he did, but he never stopped away from. Yes, now I see it. He was clapping at the referees and saying, good job, good effing job. And that will get you a foul. So no worse for wear as the technical free throw is missed, but this game, unless Brooklyn does something, is pretty much over. As this is spun around, Brandon Graham inside to Zion with the slam, 108-83. 8:30 left to go in the fourth. Durant now, right to left across the timeline. He's going to hold, as he gets around Murphy. Bounce pass. Beautiful Euro there from Nick Claxton. And again, I said this earlier throughout the broadcast, he would be the one that I would give the gold star to. 108.85. Zion. Head down again. Get to the lane. Draw the foul on Nick Claxton. 8:10 left to go in the fourth. It has been balanced scoring. Let's go through some of these as Zion is at the line. Balanced scoring for the Pels. Zion's at the line. He is the leader right now. He's looking for points 25 and 26. Ingram has 23 on 8 of 14 shooting. Zion 11 and 22. That's exactly what you would want to see from Ben Simmons. Get to the line and try to do something with it. Herbert Jones 2 of 7. He had 6 in 24 minutes. Jonas Valanciunas had 13 on 6 of 12. CJ McCollum 7 of 16 with 21 points. The leader off the bench, Trey Murphy III with 13 points. Larry Nance Jr. had 6. He inked himself a nice deal in the offseason. Zion split the pair. 109.85 is your score as we've hit the 8-minute marker of the fourth quarter. John out here with you from NBA League Pass. This is the Yes Network feed between the Pels and the Nets. This is the home opener of the Nets, and Royce O'Neal hits a much-needed 3, but the Nets are going to need about 6 more of those in a row, and the Pelicans would have to miss about 6 or 7 in a row. Zion Williamson, quick spin, trying to get around Royce O'Neal. Wraparound pass. Somehow, Trey Murphy's all over the right wing side. Valanciunas couldn't fight off Nick Claxton. Here comes Patrick Mills. Mills now trying to lead for Durant. Trey Murphy's all over him. There's a chance for Durant trying to go baseline, but before that, draws the foul. So 109.88, Kyrie Irving will check back in for Steve Nash. And one of those situations where I kind of feel sorry for Steve, not just of all the tumultuism, as it's more of a roller coaster and not a merry-go-round, but you haven't had a lot of time to rest Durant and Irving because the team's never really been in the game. So Kyrie Irving, 5 of 18, 13 shots. He's 0 of 6 from deep, so he's been very cool. Durant, pump fake, trying to get around Ingram, using offhand and the jab step, nails the 2, draws the foul. Kevin Durant with the nastiest step back and the off-arm push as he just told Brandon Ingram, get off me, young blood. So that 6'11" falling away, hitting the jumper, that was smooth as butter and pure as you like. 109.90, 7:22 left to go in the fourth. Again, not really so worried about Kevin Durant as much as I'd be worried about Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons. You know what Kevin Durant's going to get you. And if not from a toe on the line a couple seasons ago, a much different story. 30 points tonight, 5th career 30-point game on opening night. Ingram down the lane, Euro step lays it right in over Durant. So Ingram counters 111.91 as the lead's back up by 20. Irving, Royce O'Neal on the right wing being cut off there by Herbert Jones. Nick Claxton is at the top of the key. Going to leave it around to Cam Thomas, and a foul is called before the Kyrie Irving jumper. 111.91 still your score. Media timeout, 6:59 left in the fourth. When we come back, we're going to get closer to closing this one out. Pels want to go to 1-0 on the season. Thank you to everyone that stuck around on the YouTube side and the Colorcast side. I appreciate it. It's been a fun contest. At times it's not been all that close, but it's one of those ones that we would expect to see. What are we going to see between Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons? That's been the question. And the answer was not much tonight. It's been the Kevin Durant experience. And for the Pelicans, I think Willie Green's going to be happy. It's been about as balanced as you would like it to be. As they are shooting the cannons of T-shirts in the crowd, and the only really happy ones right now are the kids in their home opener. I don't imagine the parents would be too happy with what they saw. Let's give you some full scoreboard look right now as we got the cheerleaders dancing, the Brooklyn Nets. So 111, 102, 124 left to go in the fourth as the Hawks trying to go 1-0 on the season. Should be able to pull off the Rockets. Rockets have been down by as much as 20, and they've kind of fought their way through. Bulls have a 192 lead over the Heat. 8:42 left to go in the fourth. Still tons of time in that contest. It's a 2-point game between the Cavs and the Raptors. Cleveland's got the 2-point lead, 94-92. It is 94-87. The Grizzlies have the lead over the Knicks with 5:18 left in the fourth. Anybody's contest right now. Timberwolves all over the Thunder, 76-69. 5:46 left to go in the third. Again, no Chet Holmgren for the entire season. And Adam Silver says he's going to penalize anyone that tries to tank for Victor Wembanyama. But still, some of these teams kind of stink. And who knows if you're tanking or not. Maybe you're just struggling, but that's just me. Jazz have a 39-30 lead over the Nuggets. That's very peculiar right now. Late game on ESPN is Mavericks Suns, a rematch of what you saw in the Western Conference playoffs when the Mavs pretty much beat the Suns. There really is nothing to say. One final that we got here for you: Wizards won over the Pacers, 114-107, and teams are going to be rebuilding. And a final again, 113-109. Pistons got the win over the Magic in their home opener at LCA.
I would say, well, I think I have candy in my bag. Sour Patch Kids.
Is that a men's medium?
If it's a medium, look, not relax.
Schmedium.
You already took the sleeves off.
Back underneath the action right now, 6:55 left to go. Durant with the ball. He needs outlet help. He's going to leave this here for Cam Thomas. Thomas trying to probe inside Nick Claxton. Acrobatic move underneath the basket. And Nick Claxton makes it happen. 111-93. 6:35 left to go on the fourth. John out here with you from Barclays Center. Watching the NBA League Pass feed on the Yes Network with Iron Eagle on the broadcast. Brandon Ingram. Couple of jab steps there on Nick Claxton. Bounce pass inside. It's Valanciunas versus O'Neal. Like the decision there by Valanciunas, although he missed it. And that was picked up there by Brandon Graham. You got to box out. 113-93 as the point guard makes them pay. 6:10 left to go in the fourth. Kyrie Irving. Bounce pass down to Nick Claxton. Irving gets it back. Extra pass Durant from 12 off the mid. He missed it all. So surprisingly, he was open. Nick Claxton hustle offensive rebound. Cam Thomas for three, missed it all. And now Valanciunas will clean up the mess. And he's going to leave it here for Brandon Ingram, who's been solid, but all the starters have been solid tonight for the Willie Green squad. About 5:45 left to go in this fourth. It's a game that the Pelicans have led wire to wire. Ingram still waiting here at the top of the key. They're bleeding this shot clock. Long free for Ingram, missed it, and rebounded by Nick Claxton as this goes to Cam Thomas. Durant now right wing side. Thought about it against Ingram. Couple series of moves. Puts his head down. Euro step inside the lane. He tells Valanciunas to take that. Puts it right in. Step through off the Euro. That was nasty. Puts it in. 5:15 left to go in the fourth. Pelicans enjoying an 18-point lead. 113-95 is your score. Zion. He's going to check back in, although I really don't know why. Maybe going to get him some minutes and some more sweat on. And Nick Claxton and Jonas Valanciunas got a little tangled up. And it's going to go the other way now, maybe. That's what the ref is pointing, at least. So looking on the replay on my side, well, when I can see in the video feed, it really was just Jonas Valanciunas maybe getting a hand in. Nick Claxton's kind of wondering why it's going against him, and the ref is explaining it to him over there, and it's going to leave Jonas Valanciunas with a chance with some free throws at the line as the Pelicans are in the bonus, 113-95 with 5:04 left. Valanciunas makes it. He's got a chance now to give the Pelicans a 20-point lead, and I won't question what Willie Green does early in the season right now, but you would think with the game in hand, maybe Zion would rest the last 5 minutes of the contest. You don't want anything to happen. But at the same time, what I do like, if you reverse it, is Zion is getting a chance to get a little bit more work in an NBA game and keep things sharp. And if you have full trust in that regimen to be able to make sure that he can be on the floor, then that's what you do, even with a 20-point lead. And that's where we are right now with 5 minutes left to go, as the Pelicans are up 115-95 against Brooklyn on their home floor. Irving, jab steps, trying to get around Herbert Jones, falling away from 10, makes the shot. 115-97. Chance now for CJ McCollum. The Pelicans have 4 starters with 15-plus points. It's great production all the way around the horn. Williamson, right wing side, Haven't seen him shoot any threes since his first season in the league. He's all inside nowadays, and when he's not good, why not? Ingram, fade, draws the foul, but I thought he might have got hit by air more than a hand in the face. But still, he's going to go to the line to shoot two. Kevin Durant can't believe it. Got a chance to make it a 20-point lead again for the Pels. So early, if you're following along on the YouTube side, let me know. Again, I mentioned this earlier. Who are your teams in the West and who are your teams in the East that you think will be contenders going into the playoffs? Who do you like this year? I'm not asking you to make the who's going to host the Larry O'Brien Trophy in the first game of the NBA season for a lot of these teams, but give me some of your favorite teams. I want to know. So Brandon Ingram misses the first free throw. He's got a chance for the next one coming up, and Kevin Durant might be taking a seat for the rest of this contest right now. 4:30 left to go. As Ingram still got another free throw here. Again, no Seth Curry and no Joe Harris here tonight. That certainly would have helped, but at the same time, the only players that really had a pulse tonight were anyone that was in the paint, and between Duron Sharp and Nick Claxton on the defensive side. It's been struggle street here for Brooklyn. And the defense has been much of the thing that I would blame, not to mention, again, not to harp on Ben Simmons too much, but 2 for 2 on 2 lobs, 5 assists, and he was fouled out with 4 points. Simply not enough. You got to be a little more aggressive for my liking. So the ball's going to get knocked out of bounds. Both Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant will be taking a seat for the rest of this game as they get the obligatory hugs there from Steve Nash. Can't be happy, and the fans can't be happy there with a home opener, I imagine. Although the Pelicans, good squad, yes, but you think you would expect a better effort here tonight in the home opener. Ingram falling away from 18 over Sumner. That is butter. 118.97. It's a 21-point lead for the Pelicans. Their most is 23, and for some reason, Steve Nash wants to talk it over and figure his dinner reservations with his team. So we're going to take our time out, and we're going to close out this fourth quarter action in a moment. 3:52 left to go in the fourth. Let's finish it off when we come back. Scores of note. Raptors and Cavs in a 1-point game, 98-97. Raptors got the lead. It is Knicks now taking the lead over the Grizzlies with 3:20 left in the fourth, 96-95. Timberwolves and Thunder tied at 81. Third quarter action, 2:11 left. Hornets lambasting the Spurs, 96-75. It is the Jazz all over the Nuggets right now. That is a little bit of a head scratcher there, 49-30. And that's an utter disappointment there in my mind. Final scores, Pistons beat the Magic 113-109, and the Wizards got the win tonight. And the Hawks also got the win tonight, 117-107. Wizards won 114-107 over the Pacers. The only other teams that were enjoying a 1-0 were the Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors. Boston Celtics off the TNT doubleheader took out the 76ers last time. The Lakers lost to the Golden State Warriors, and one of those narratives you want to throw out, blame Russell Westbrook night. Can't blame him. He was good last night there for the Lakers. They just didn't shoot well from three. And LeBron James put it adequately last night. They don't have a lot of lasers from deep, and that's going to be a problem going into the season. When you think Kendrick Nunn, even though he's from my alma mater at Oakland University, if he's your best three-point shooter, you might be in trouble. Waiting for the full-time out, I look at some restless New York fans that they're showing on the Brooklyn Nets side. They have the pretty miserable face right now. Maybe they're wishing their basketball tickets were baseball tickets. And before I even close out the YouTube side when this game is officially done, let's get you some baseball scores, shall we? Top of the sixth, it's 1-1 between the Yankees and the Houston Astros, trying to get the first game of the ALCS, and it's 1-1 in the NLCS as the Padres tie it up with an 8-5 win over the Phillies. Kevin Durant, leading scorer in this contest, 32 points, 11 of 21, 2 of 6, 4 blocks. Back underneath the action right now. 3:40 left to go in the third. It was a Brooklyn Nets shot that was missed. Durant is the leading scorer in this contest, and Zion is the leading scorer in the contest for the Pelicans. Pelicans looking to coast right now and just make sure they don't have any injuries as fans are starting to file the exits of Barclays. I don't think they'd be too happy tonight because this has been a bloodletting on the opening night here in the Barclays Center floor, 121-97. There's a chance now for Cam Thomas, missed the three, rebounded by Brandon Ingram. And the Pelicans can continue to use the shot clock and salt this away. And why are we calling timeout again? We just had a full timeout. Put your bench guys in and figure it out, coaches. Let's go. Let's close out the 3:12. That's just me getting angry a little bit. Be right back. We'll close out the game, I promise. So tomorrow, officially on the YouTube side, I think that game will be a lot closer than the game that we've had tonight, although I was very excited to kick this one off just to see what we would see between the Brooklyn Nets and the New Orleans Pelicans. And for the Nets, you saw comatose. That's really the only other way to say it. They didn't bring any effort tonight, and they got smacked accordingly by the Pelicans. So tomorrow's matchup, I will be back on air and on YouTube side for the Dallas Stars and Toronto Maple Leafs. The Dallas Stars are trying to go 4-0 on the young NHL season. Toronto Maple Leafs are 2-2. They already have some issues there with their goaltending, as Matt Murray is not going to be available here for an extended period of time. So it's Ilya Samsonov and Eric Shelgren. So we'll see if Jake Ottinger can continue to stonewall throughout the season and see what they can handle with the Toronto Maple Leafs. So that should be a fun contest. That is going to be at Toronto tomorrow night. So I will be there for that. And that should be NLCS Game 3 between the Phillies and the Padres. So back underneath the action right now, this should be the good old garbage time as the Pelicans will get the lay-in. 123-97 as Marshall got the lane for two. So still, this game wasn't exactly what we wanted as far as the scoreline, but I appreciate everyone following along. Yuri Watanabe from three had it tipped up there by Duron Sharp, and hopefully he did not pull a hamstring as he's trying to walk that off. That'd be the last thing that the Nets need right now. Again, he's the only other one right now with Nick Claxton that's kind of had any pulse inside the paint. So Sharp is really shaking out that knee, but he's having a tough time right now. Watanabe's pass. Kessler Edwards. Kessler Edwards going to launch the two. Watanabe can't get the rebound as this goes back now. As Sharp is still grimacing in pain, but he's going to stay in. Good move there by Marshall, but he missed it. And here's a chance. It's a 1-on-3. Going to go all the way and lay it in. Is a chance for David Duke Jr. He's going to try to get Brooklyn over the century mark, but the problem for them is it's going to be 123-120 as they're showing Duron Sharp on the Yes Network side, and he got tangled up with a hamstring or a knee. He is grimacing in pain a little bit, and he's shaking it out. So David Duke Jr., no hesitation on the free throw. It's 123-100, and it ties the largest lead of the game that the Pelicans have had as they're up by 23. Larry Nance Jr. now to Marshall. He's going to fade from 18 after double clutch. Kessler Edwards will clean up the mess. David Duke Jr. now gets inside the lane, scores it again. So Sumner, with the help of David Duke Jr., are going to go to the line, and the Pelicans now all of a sudden can get, again, this game is over, but within 20 with back-to-back good old-fashioned and ones. So the bench showing a little bit more of a killer instinct than this garbage time than the starters did. Sumner, Michigan State product, completes the and one, 123-103, with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. John on here with you on the call from the Yes Network, courtesy of the NBA League Pass, an NBA 2K23 Championship Edition. That's going to give me some coverage to coverage from playoffs to regular season for the NBA and then the NHL and ESPN Plus, where I will be back tomorrow pretty much at 7 o'clock between the Dallas Stars and the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I hope you stick around for that one. Kessler Edwards, right wing 3. He cans it. So Brooklyn scored 9 straight points off the bench, 125-106. Good move there, trying to get set up there left for Marshall. Good defense by the Nets to knock it away. $1:30 left to go in the contest here as Deron Sharp will get this one to Edmund Sumner. Sumner for 3 all the way around the rim and out. Tough luck miss there as this goes to Jose Alvarado. All the Pelicans have to do is take this across the timeline about 2 or 3 more times, and this game is going to be church. Picked up now. Here's a chance off of the layup side missed by the New Orleans Pelicans. As Alvarado tried to help out there, Watanabe going to go to the line. Chance for 2 to make this a 125-108 contest. As always, guys, I will be getting close to closing out this YouTube side broadcast as we got 1:05 left to go in the fourth. You're looking at everyone else on the bench right now on the Yes Network, courtesy of Kevin Durant, Ben Simmons, and Kyrie Irving, as there really wasn't much tonight to be said of Kyrie Irving and the Ben Simmons performance. It was very quiet and lackluster. But again, it's not just those guys. Kevin Durant was really the only one that showed any offensive pulse. And on the defensive side, it was Nick Claxton and a chance there for Deron Sharp as both free throws were missed by Yuri Watanabe as we got a minute left to go in the fourth. So it's Murder, She Wrote. Angelo Lansbury here left. Jose Alvarado got it now, trying to go baseline. He makes it count. 127-106 as the lead's back up by 21. But the most has been 23 in this wire-to-wire contest. So Deron Sharp will get this in deep. Kessler Edwards, 3 off the left wing side. No, rebounded there by Alvarado. Picked up now by Dyson Daniels. Going to leave it here for Alvarado. Cans the 3. So this is the biggest lead here for the New Orleans Pelicans, 130-106. As it's going to be one more possession here for Brooklyn, and then the Pelicans can finish this one off, and we can end this game. And where I will say I will give you the complete game coverage at hopelesssportsguy.wordpress.com. But again, if you're a Brooklyn Nets fan, you have to feel a little bit disappointed, not just because they're going 0-1 in the season. It's early, and I won't make any crazy comparisons, but there just wasn't any life tonight here for the Nets. And courtesy of Deron Sharp and Nick Claxton and Kevin Durant, that's really all you had. All the starters were really in double figures. So let's close out some of these numbers before we close out this broadcast. We got 20 seconds left to go. So Zion Williamson had 25 on 11 of 22. Brandon Ingram 28 on 10 of 17. Jonas Valanciunas 15 on 6 of 13. Sergio McCollum 7 of 16 with 21. It was 16-point leader off the bench, Trey Murphy the third. And then Kevin Durant had 32, led all scorers, 11 of 21 shooting. Kyrie Irving 6 of 19 on 15 points. Ben Simmons 2 of 3, 2 lobs. He fouled out and had 4 points. And that's pretty much what we got off the bench. Patrick Mills was 16. Your final score, 130-108. John on here with you on the call, and I will be back tomorrow as we hit the ice between the Dallas Stars and the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I promise that game will be closer. As always, guys, I appreciate it. Anyone that followed along on the Colorcast YouTube side, see you tomorrow. Peace.